Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our second ever edition of Inside the Red Zone, presented to you by Walk-On's Bistro and Bar out there in Richland. We're so thankful to Matt and his incredible crew for feeding us tonight. And we bring you a live look inside 8 different matchups tonight. I'm Brian Eubank, the voice of the Raider Network, joined alongside Chris Brooks of Mississippi Gridiron Magazine, Capital Sports. I mean, this guy's worn a lot of hats in his time.
A little bit of everything.
Football.
I do. I try to.
You try to. Well, we're going to get his intake, or his input, and find out that if he can, of course, get involved in these picks, and we'll get all that situated, of course. So you see the lineup of the games we'll be following, and those will just be the 8 games that we'll show you feeds of. We've also got the campus. It's here at Jackson Academy, and it's quiet tonight because, well, there's no games. That's why we're able to do what we're able to do tonight in the bye week, and able to bring you all these 8 games. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and I'm excited about it. I'm glad you asked.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't think of a better guy to have in here because he is high school football in the state of Mississippi. Of course, Chris Brooks. Now, we've already had some scores we're going to get to. Our guys are already running replay machines and getting all that. We're still working on the Oxford feed and trying to figure out why that one is not coming our way. But those are all 8 games that we'll be checking in on tonight. Lafayette and Hartfield Academy, one of the many homecomings tonight. In fact, the top 3 are all homecomings for sure. Then you have ECS at Jackson Prep, already a score in that ball game. Simpson and PCS is just underway. Oxford and Starkville, that little egg bowl we'll get to. And then you've got Gulfport and Brandon. Also, they just got done with homecoming. They did theirs pregame. Warren Central and Madison Central, Northwest Rankin and Brookhaven, and then finally the bottom right of your screen, Ocean Springs and Picayune. And our guys are taking advantage right now of getting all of those highlights getting ready. So while they're getting all that set, we're going to give you the picks of how we saw these games playing out today. And I don't know, I'd be interested to see your take on these games. So we're going to start the very first matchup at the very top, Lafayette and Hartfield Academy. Hartfield, arguably, Chris, one of the best teams in the MAIS, maybe even in the state.
They have a chance, and this is a chance for them tonight to prove exactly what you just said, that they can play with anybody in the state. The schedule's been easy so far, but tonight they move up several classes in terms of competition. But I think they're going to be okay.
All right, well, apparently because I'm on this side, I have to go first every time. So I'm going to go with the MAIS Love, and I'm going to go with the Hartfield Hawks to pull this one off over Lafayette. How do you see it lining up?
Saw the same thing. Hartfield's loaded. You probably are looking at, we're projecting down the line, but maybe 8, 9 Division I players on that roster. 3, 4 SEC players potentially.
One new addition we added this evening and this year is the fan pick. We put it out on social media, and thanks to Chris and his retweeting, it got a lot of traction, and that's the fan pick for tonight. 66% feel that Hartfield will pull it off. I guess only 34% for Lafayette. You surprised?
No, fans are smart.
Okay.
I mean, you've been on social media.
Fans are smart. Those fans are. I am not. But game number 2, it is in Flowood, Mississippi. Also, Jackson Prep celebrating their homecoming, and they're hosting Evangelical Christian School. And already an early start for Jackson Prep. So I took the Patriots before the pick 6 ever occurred.
Yeah, Evangelical School. Obviously, that's not from here. I'm not very familiar with them, but I checked a little bit. And there's a chance this one could be kind of a big win for Jackson Prep.
Oh, okay. All right. So you also have the Patriots of Jackson Prep. Third game on the docket is down in Hattiesburg, Simpson Academy, the alma mater of this young man next to me. So I'm going to go with his alma mater because, I mean, why wouldn't you? He's in the building. You don't want to offend him. I'm going with Simpson Academy to pull the upset against PCS tonight.
Yeah, I'm just glad you called me a young man. I appreciate that. Like self-esteem boost never hurt anybody. But I think Simpson is a good football team, but I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go with PCS tonight.
Whoa.
Simpson fans are going to see this.
Will Mendenhall be okay with this?
I don't know.
I don't know if that was a smart move on your part. Let's see how the fans saw this pick lying out. Yeah, 55% of them. Maybe you were right on that one. That's how the fans see it, 55% to 35%. Let's move on to game number 4. We'll start diving into the MHSAA ranks, and this is a good one. They call it the Little Egg Bowl for obvious reasons, Oxford and Starkville. And Starkville is, I think, another juggernaut in the state, right?
Yeah, it's the 10th meeting between these two with a Little Egg Bowl on the line. Starkville is good. I think they're one of the best teams in the state. They're coming off a loss. Struggle last week, got beat by Louisville in a lower classification team, moving up 3 classes to beat them, but that's a very good team also. But in this one, I think Starkville has too many players for Oxford.
We both went with the Yellow Jackets tonight, so congratulations to Yellow Jacket fans. You swept the board. How did the fans see the game turning out?
Oh, wow.
Wow, 78% to 22%. And I might have entered that wrong. There's a really good chance that I did that, but I'll go back and check it in a minute. But either way, it's a lopsided number there.
You don't mess up.
Yeah, there's number one right there already on the night. All right, Gulfport and Brandon, another homecoming, of course, as we have entered that time of the year for homecomings to occur. And out there at Bulldog Stadium, you've got Brandon hosting Gulfport, and you already kind of alluded to what happened to them last week.
Right. They had Picayune beat. They did 21-0, and Picayune comes back late to win that game. And if you're familiar with Picayune, that's again one of the best teams in the state. Gulfport new head coach Blake Pinnock. Had a tough loss early this year to Madison Central, a game they could have also won. So you're talking about a team that could be undefeated potentially. But I like how Brandon's playing.
Yeah, I've got the Fighting Jake Wimberleys is who I'm going to go with. That is, of course, the Brandon Bulldogs. I think that's who I went with. Yeah, okay, good. The Brandon Bulldogs is who I went with.
I thought the same thing as soon as I said that.
Yeah.
If it pops up wrong, then I can change my mind. I reserve that right up until the moment I say it.
No, they're going to go with what you sent in earlier.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, good. You went with Brandon. We'll have the fans see this one playing out. Also going with Brandon, 72% to 28%. All right, our next matchup is the Battle of Centrals, Warren Central and Madison Central. And the Vikings have definitely gotten on the improve, if you will, and kind of returned the glory a little bit in Vicksburg.
Yeah, it's a good football team every year. You know, they win a lot. They don't win. They haven't gotten to a state championship in a long time, but they're in the playoffs every year under Coach Morgan. But at the same time, they're moving down a class this year. Now they're back up playing a 7A team again. Warren Central 6A, of course, now. I think Madison's just going to be too much for them.
How hard is it to go 7A? Like, is that difficult to remember that we now have 7 classes?
You would think, especially with our age and my brain in particular, that I'd mess that up a lot. Knock on wood, I haven't had a hard time with that one.
Knock on wood. No, sorry. All right, I went with Madison Central and the Jags. It's in the jungle. You can't go against Madison Central there.
Yeah, and they're playing well. They're probably a little better early this year than I thought. I knew they'd be good. I thought it might take half a year to get there because there are a lot of new players. But again, I think Madison Central wins.
All right, what do the fans think? Let's see. 82% to 18%. And now I'm really intrigued. What's the game I screwed up? Gulfport and Brandon? No.
That's bothering you, isn't it?
It is. I got to know.
I think you got it. Oxford.
It was Oxford Starkville, yeah. So I did have them flip. Starkville was 78%. All right, I just wanted to make sure on that one. All right, next on the list, you got Northwest Rankin and Brookhaven. Old Brook. And that is always just a great place to watch high school football.
It is. Haven't been down there in a little bit. Northwest Rankin's got a good football team this year. In particular, they have a 10th grade class that last year's 9th graders, they one of the best Little Six teams around here. You know what that is if you're from this area. There's a lot of players in there. They have a freshman wide receiver 1 year under that, a freshman that's starting already about 400 or 500 yards receiving, 4 or 5 touchdowns, has a chance to be a special player. But Northwest Rankin solid this year.
I think I went with the Cougars on this one. I'm going to have to let it be revealed. I know I have 1 or 2 that are different from Chris as we'll roll the selection on the right side now. So what's mine? Yeah, okay, good. I did go with
if I look off from the camera, I mean, I'm curious what your pick is. Yeah. So I'm looking over a little bit. You went with my Cougars. Of course, my kids played there. Yeah. My oldest and my middle kid won a state championship there in baseball a couple years ago. Just throw that in there. But,
side note.
But Northwest Rankin is very good.
All right, the fans also agree with that, 87% to 13%. And now we turn our eyes to the very last game, Ocean Springs and Picayune. This arguably is one of the toughest games to select. It's almost a coin flip.
Yeah, a good game, but I got back to my middle kid, my old kid. I probably should have name dropped them, but we're just going to let that go.
No, we're just leaving them. Middle kid, oldest kid, yeah.
I like this game. Picayune, everybody knew would be the 6A favorite heading into this year. Ocean Springs, people have a few questions because they lost their coach with Blake Pinnock going over to Gulfport. And also Bray Hubbard, everybody remembers him at quarterback. Yeah. That's 2 big losses. However, just about everybody else came back, and that's a good football team.
All right, so I think, I'm pretty sure I love the Picayune mascot, but I went with the Ocean Springs Greyhounds because, a dog can outrun a wave sometimes.
The colors, too. The uniforms are snappy. I mean, if we did the uniform vote, I mean, they're high up that list. But I'm going to go with Picayune. They have a couple of players in particular. The roster's good top to bottom. But they have 2 good players that are SEC candidates in Chris Davis at running back and I can't remember Waller's first name now. I told you I'd do that.
Yeah,
defensive end that's headed to Florida. And not just SEC players, like special players. Yeah. Chris Davis is going to Stanford right now. It's where he's committed. But two very good football players.
All right, how the fans see it? Well, 57% for Picayune, only 43% for Ocean Springs. So probably the tightest poll results we had so far. And there are 3 more games we actually also selected. So these are not games we'll be showing you highlights of, but we do have these 3 games up on the list. Pearl and Germantown, a battle of local foes. And the Fighting Pirates are who I'm going to go with.
Pearl's a good football team. And I've said that about several of these. They've got to come up with some different vernacular. But Pearl struggled last year, if you remember that. Only won a couple of ball games. A lot of young players, freshman quarterback, and you know how that goes when you're playing at that level of classification.
Yeah.
But I knew it would pay off this year, or at least I hope. And it has. That's a very good football team. Has a chance to do something this year.
All right, so let's reveal those picks. I went with Germantown. I forgot. See, it's one of those moments I couldn't remember who I did. I was trying to be different because I didn't want to pick all the picks you picked.
I'm going to beat you tonight with this.
Yeah, probably so. And I just had to make sure that they matched the other picks thing that I do.
Hey, but look,
I couldn't go against the other picks.
Germantown has players coming through there, so you're not. That's not out of the question that they couldn't win that football game.
Well, we don't have a fan vote for those, so these are just our picks, which is probably a good thing, because so I can prove me how wrong I am. All right, you've got West Jones and Poplarville, and this is the Hornet's Nest. I found this out. This is a very cool stadium name for sure, and the last one is as well. But with Poplarville and what Beach has done there, I mean, this is a group that, time after time after time is in that championship game and winning it a lot.
Yeah, just get ready to get hit in the mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to run it, and they're going to run it, and they're going to run it some more. And they love that style of football. They win with it, like you said, every year. West Jones, that's a good program also, though. So new coach. Scott Pearson's not there anymore. At the same time, they're still winning games.
Yeah.
And that thing just keeps rolling right along. I think they're in good shape.
I mean, Scott Pearson has been there since when I used to do my huddle show.
A long time.
Had been there.
Look, you're talking about the legendary high school huddle.
Yes, that's why I went with West Jones. I mean, just in honor of Scott Pearson. And you went with, also West Jones. Fantastic.
Scott's a great guy.
All right, our final matchup, Jefferson-Davis County. Oh, man, Lance Mancuso, what has he done since Bassfield merged and became Jefferson-Davis County? Same thing he did at Bassfield, win.
Yeah, and Lance is similar. We're talking about Poplarville and their style of football, their brand. I mean, they're going to do the same thing at JDC. Love to run it right at you and be physical.
And then the Raleigh Lions. I don't know a lot about Raleigh other than they play in the Lions Den.
Well, you know, again,
it's a good one.
There's a theme there when you start finding out the names of these places.
I know, it's great.
Coach Ignan has done a good job there. You know, they won a state championship last year, 3A. They're down a classification out of 2A, have a real shot to win it again. But JDC's really good.
Yeah, I went with of course, the Fighting Lance Mancusos. I can't ever pick against Coach Mancuso. He is one of my favorite guys to interview and favorite teams to watch play the game of football.
I'm not sure if unheralded is a word, but
it is.
Lance is that guy in terms of coaching. He wins titles, wins them regularly, and is one of the best we have in Mississippi.
All right, let's get to it. Now we've got a lot of scores to get to, you folks, and we've gotten our picks in, and don't worry, we'll catch up to these games because there's all 2 hours plus now left of our coverage here tonight.
2 hours.
We got to be here for 2 hours. All right, we're going to go first to Flowood, where the very first score happened as we came on the air, and it was a pick six by Thomas Cross. A little over 35 yards. He took it to the house.
Thomas knows Coach Chris. He used to play on our travel ball team when they're like 9, 10 years old. So very familiar with him and his dad. John Cross, awesome guy. Dr. John Cross, but that's a big play from Thomas.
No doubt about it. All right, Brandon and Gulfport, a TD pass. Oh, look at the moves. Very nicely done by Josh Sullivan. And then, wow, quickly to PCS and Simpson, and the Bobcats are getting a first touchdown in that ball game. Cannon Crowder, of course, getting the TD there, and then a pick six. Wow, Warren Central against Madison Central. Didn't see that start coming for the Vikings.
How about that? Early in that one.
I mean, 4 quick scores just like that, and that's what we got going. We are desperately efforting that Oxford-Starkville matchup. We don't know what's happening there with their feed, but we will now go to Flowood, where Hartfield looks like they are about to punch it in, or they may have actually, as the Hartfield Hawks are in the end zone on homecoming against Lafayette. Let's check that one out. There we go. This is some good stuff, folks. Here we go, a little replay here. Oh, it's the old student body pile.
Thought we were going with the Reggie Bush push back in the day.
Now, you wouldn't have to do that.
Did that. How about that? Hartfield's good, man.
That was hurtful.
That is a very good football team. Is it too early to go ahead and say this? Your setup here, man, is unbelievable for people at home. What Brian does and the Raider Network's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's not me. It's a team. The team is what have. In fact, you wouldn't see all these scores without the way Josh coded all this stuff. And then we have Tommy Barnett, who's hanging out in the audio room, watching all these games, updating us on all these scores to keep everything flowing like it is. And you got 2 in commercial breaks, 7-0 PCS right now leading Simpson. You've got, as you just saw, Hartfield leading Lafayette 7-0 in prep up, looking to get another score there. And on the other side, you've got Gulfport wow, already 14-0 Brandon.
I told you, man, early in the year, the first 2 games, Brandon struggled. The last 2 weeks, they found something, playing like I thought they would in the preseason.
Northwest Rankin and Old Brook are battling and scoreless in the first quarter, and Ocean Springs and Picayune, they got off to an early start, too, 14-7. They've already had 3 touchdowns in that first quarter.
They couldn't have started that early for 14-7.
Man.
I mean, we're talking here, we've been
No,
on,
I mean, they came on the year right when we started,
Yeah,
which is
15
only
minutes.
17 minutes. They've scored 3 touchdowns.
Ocean Springs, how about give the Greyhounds some credit? Picayune is the real deal. Like, no doubt, talked to another coach this morning about that roster and that football team. So for Ocean Springs to do that says a lot about them.
Oxford and Starkville, that's the only one we're trying to get back to you guys and get that one working, but it is still being very, very cantankerous. But I want to take a quick second and thank the fine folks at Walk-Ons, including our good friend Matt Miner, who is treating us. And folks, if you've never seen the mozzarella logs,
Those are mine, by the way.
I know. I'm just showing them off. These are I don't want to touch your food, so no. Pick it up and show
Look,
them
it says
how.
mozzarella log.
Yeah, they're not like cheese sticks. These are humongous.
Yubi asked me what I wanted to eat, showed me the menu, and immediately I saw mozzarella log. That's all it took. Just sign me up for anything like that.
So they're showing our feed in Walk-Ons tonight. We thank you so much, Walk-Ons, for taking care of us inside the red zone and sponsoring us tonight.
Could have told me that. You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me people were going to be watching, man. Now I'm nervous.
He's Chris Brooks with Mississippi Gridiron Magazine and Capital Sports. I'm Brian Eubank, the voice of the Raider Network. We're just glad to be here with Eddie Weddick in the truck, along with Josh Hinkle, Tommy Barnett, and our 3 youngsters also in there as well. We're going to head to PCS, where our good friend Caleb Hamill is along with Drew Smith and Phil Smith. We're going to join their action in progress.
In the mouth, and then you get Funchess with the sweeps and the quickness and the speed that he has. He's a really good athlete, really good basketball player too for Simpson. So he's kind of that do-it-all type athlete.
Simpson Academy on their 9th play of the drive have not passed it once so far in this game and don't expect them to anytime soon. Kennedy will be an H-back to the left. Haysbury, the tailback. Fake the handoff to him. Back to pass. McKinney throws wide open as the fullback. Diving into the end zone for a touchdown goes Kennedy. And Simpson Academy is an extra point away from tying it.
Well, I think we didn't expect him to run it either, Caleb. I mean, to throw it either. And that was your usual, play action. To the fake the handoff and then send your tight end out to the flats, and he's just wide open. That's a really good play call after a lot of successful running attempts.
Parker Pierce will be attempting this point after out of the hold of Barrett McKinney, the quarterback. 7-yard touchdown reception for Benjamin Kennedy. And it's 7-6 with 3:39 to go in the first quarter. Extra point pending here. Snap comes back, it's put down, and away through the uprights goes the extra point, and it's 7-all here in Hattiesburg. 3:39 to go first quarter. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is PCS Bobcat Football.
It's Caleb Hamill on the call. We appreciate him allowing us to take a sneak peek into there, and now we shift gears, and I've already forgotten where we're heading because I don't listen well.
That's okay.
Warren Central, Madison Central in the jungle. Let's head there now. Gavin Davenport with the pick 6. The junior just made it 14 or 13, pinning the extra point. 13-0 Warren Central. How about that? Warren Central's up 2 touchdowns in the jungle.
Can't say I'm shocked, though. I mean, I know I picked Madison Central, but I told you when we did the picks that Warren Central's solid.
Man, I didn't see that start coming, though. Good news is a long way to go for all these teams just in the first quarter, but Brandon looking for a potential 3rd score on Gulfport already. In homecoming 2023 for the Bulldogs, they are down inside the 3 now.
Talking about a great venue to watch a game. Did you see here Nate Blunt? Nate reminds you of Jerome Bettis back in the day, old school kind of running back. Big guy, physical, punishing runner, and you probably will see him get it again.
Let's go full screen and take a listen to Jake Wimberly, Purvey Green, and Chris Ebel here on the call at Brandon High School.
Hard-nosed football running it right at you, PCS.
Direct snap in, touchdown, he walks in, 20-0 Bulldogs.
3-yard run by Nate Blunt.
And what an interesting formation. They brought in the game, let's see here, 69 Cooper Hooks, sophomore, and 54 Calais Coleman, senior offensive lineman, to create 3 guys lining up kind of in an H-back situation, blocking on the left side, and Nate Blunt in the Wildcat, he just ran behind those guys to get, he got to the 1, and it was just student body forward to get to the end zone.
Mullins on for the point after attempt. Try to make it 21-0. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is good. 21-0. We're at the 5:32 mark.
That's Jake Wimberly and Purvey Green, and now we shift over to Hartfield, where yet another score has occurred. They are happening furiously, almost faster than we can rewind and get these highlights to you. But here's a look back at Hartfield and another touchdown for the Hawks. And a quick pass. Oh, boy, look at this move. That is just Braylon Womack wanting it more than anybody else. And
for 6.
Cayman Tapper is the guy that has been the one question mark going in is at the quarterback position. And you're Mr. Joseph Craven on the call there.
Yeah, Cayman's just a junior, so his first year starting at Hartfield. He's done well. He's getting better, it seems, every week. And then the receiver there, you mentioned Braylon Womack. That's just a 10th grade kid already with offers from the SEC, and not just like a couple. When Georgia's calling you, you're a pretty good football player.
Yeah, I would think so. Joseph Craven and Paul Bryant there on the call. Extra point by the Hawks by Jackson Jenkins is up and good. And now we're going to check in on 4 games at once because we can. I hope you're watching this on a big enough screen to really enjoy what all is taking place here tonight on our Inside the Red Zone coverage presented to you by Walk-Ons in Ridgeland. Brandon up 21-0. Warren Central 13-0. All these first quarter scores, Cougars and Panthers trying to get on the board there in the first quarter in Brookhaven, and then Ocean Springs up on Picayune in the first quarter. We'll get back to more action when we return here on Inside the Red Zone on the Raider Network, presented by Southern Ag Credit and powered by Mississippi Smart Homes.
The internet can be a dangerous place. With Connect and Protect from C Spire, you get the phone you want, and you get the tools to easily track her location, restrict content, and help protect her at any age. It's like a digital mom on.
A what? With the My Trustmark mobile app, no matter
My name's Jake Manning. I'm here with Mississippi Smart Homes, and we work to make any building a smart building. So once we get somebody...
Watkins Construction and Roofing
wants to be your first call.
For safe, sound, and long-lasting.
For trust and peace of mind.
For premier and accredited. Because every phone call we take,
every roof installed,
every customer we serve matters.
When your goal is to be the premier roofing company serving your community,
the details are everything.
When you gamble, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. If your old air conditioner just survived this summer, you gambled and won. So, do you press your luck and go on for another summer? Or do you quit while you're ahead and cash in your chips on a new air conditioning system? With rebates, tax credits, 0% financing, and lower energy costs, is putting it off really a gamble worth taking? Environment Masters, hassle-free, plumbing and AC. Okay, ante up.
When you think of your mortgage needs, there's only one name to remember: First Horizon. Nason Williams has over 20 years of experience in mortgage lending and getting his clients to the closing table on time. From conventional loans and government loans to private loans for physicians, attorneys, dentists, CPAs, pharmacists, and other professionals, Nason has you covered. Call Nason for your consultation today. First Horizon wishes the Raiders much success on and off the field this year. First Horizon is an equal housing opportunity lender.
Southern Ag Credit has been financing life outside the city limits for over a century. Whether it's helping families own land they can grow with, or farmers manage the land they grow on. Southern Ag Credit specializes in financing life outdoors. Let us finance your rural dream. Visit us online at southernagcredit.com.
Welcome back to continuing coverage of Inside the Red Zone, presented to you by Walk-Ons in Ridgeland. And we are just grateful that Chris was able to finish yet another mozzarella log before we came live back on the air.
That was impressive.
Now, I was impressive. So Starkville is up on Oxford. We did track down the score. They are having issues with their app, Oxford was. So we're trying to get to Starkville, but until that, we have replaced that with Pillow and Starkville Academy. So we'll see if we can get an update on that as well. Now, we're going to get back into some more highlights for you, as this is another score inside the red zone, as Northwest Rankin has finally found the end zone against Old Brook. Couldn't see a number. Was that 6?
That's, your quarterback's Wes White.
Okay.
Big-time baseball player at Northwest Rankin also. 6 is, oh my goodness, I should know that off the top of my head. It's Northwest Rankin.
You should. I was giving you a moment there.
It's not Kate Thordis. It's tell me who it is.
I don't have a 6 on here. Yeah, this roster's not.
Well, maybe they threw me off.
That's probably why. Sure, we'll go with that.
The road unit.
Let's head to Jackson Prep, where the Patriots are looking to score one more time now, as they've gotten into the second quarter of action. And on homecoming 2023, the keeper for Parker Puckett is good for 6. And Jackson Prep has a 2-score advantage now on the Eagles of
Parker Puckett.
ECS.
You know, another kid that's a junior, first-year starter coming in this year, and there were, you don't want to say question marks because that's the wrong way to phrase it, but inexperience. And he's gotten better as they've gone along.
You can also check out our bottom line. We've got the scores rolling across the bottom because our friend Tommy B is in there punching those scores in for us as they happen. There are all 8 games now. As you see, we've replaced Oxford and Starkville High with another game going on just literally a stone's throw away at Starkville Academy. And if you've never been at Starkville Academy when a game is going on at Starkville High, it's kind of cool just because you hear both atmospheres. It's kind of neat. And the light, I mean, literally they're very close to each other.
Is that in the background?
No, that's a gas station. No,
okay.
the field is behind the end zone.
Thought that might be. Yeah. They could have been teeing it up right there at the pump.
It's a good idea. Let's check in with Starkville Academy and Pillow Academy real quick.
Down on the punter, maybe puts a little bit of a quick kick out of it.
2 tall, fast guys. Luke McKenzie has a block on the season. He's got a stat in just about every category. He's thrown some passes. He's run the ball. He's caught some passes. He's got interceptions. He's got punt blocks, field goal blocks. Volunteers come out for their first play. Handoff to Luke Johnson, who's got some room up the left side of the field. In a foot race now with the safety, gets around him, picks up maybe 16. Oh, looks like the left said he went out after a gain of 12. I'll take a first down now.
Yeah, and that's really the first big run play we've seen from the Volunteers. If they can get that going, and all phases of their offense start clicking.
Oh yeah. Starkville Academy, you know, they're going to force you to take care of the run before we start airing it out, you know. So first down, I wouldn't, you know, Coach Nick does have some guts. He's quick to run a pass play on first down. Back to Luke Johnson up the middle. And man, maybe a yard on the play there.
So that was a look at, I was trying to, that was hand signals, by the way, because we don't have communication as well when we're giving audio for other games. I was trying to tell them to turn that down so we could get to some other action, and they did. Look at that. They read my mind. So 4-game box now as you got Simpson and PCS knotted up at 7 apiece. Jackson Prep 14-0 over ECS as they're trying to fight back from their own end zone. There are the Eagles. And Jackson Prep is got that shark mentality, that chum in the water, thinking, man, we get another pick 6 here. This thing's over.
Yeah, I thought there was a good chance that could be a blowout, and it's still early. You know, maybe that turns a different direction, but Jackson Prep's going to be hard to beat in that one.
Hartfield Academy just up the road in Flowood, leading Lafayette 14-0. And Pillow and Starkville just underway in that game in the second quarter, still scoreless, as a little bit of pass interference maybe coming up there on the Patriots of Jackson Prep. Northwest Rankin and Brookhaven are still knotted up 7 apiece, as you see at the bottom line that we've got rolling for you. And Ocean Springs up 14-7 on Picayune. Oxford still trailing Starkville. They were just starting the second quarter, 6-0 in that game. And then you've got, now this is a new feature. up in the top right corner, you've got Ocean Springs. They're in the red zone, so they're in red up there as they're threatening to score now as they're in that game. And so apparently is maybe Gulfport, as we'll see if they can find.
In the red zone.
Yeah, they are. Wow, look at that. They are in the red zone. This is some new bells and whistles we pulled out this year. I like it.
That's really unbelievable.
Let's go straight to Gulfport and Brandon with Jake Wimberly.
Kind of entices them on in and gets them out of the way. And if you get those 4 out of the way, then we got the numbers on the other side.
Guys, I can tell you it was for Wyatt Finley, and we had 3 blockers in front of him to block 2 guys.
Our 34-yard field goal attempt by Peyton Williams. Perfect snap, perfect hold, and perfect kick. It is good. A 34-yard Das Boot. And that means the Hounds take a 17-7 lead as we are 4 seconds in to the second quarter. And Weichert Golf Properties.
Das Boot. I like that one. I may use that one later on one of my broadcasts. That's a lot of fun. Can we check in with the Brandon game and Jake Wimberly since we promised the guys? I did before I realized I said the wrong game. We can check back in on that. It's 14. Where is it? There it is. 21-0 still Brandon. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go, and Gulfport threatening to try to get on the scoreboard first.
Job. Jonathan Crane just coming up from his defensive back position to make that tackle go low and help make that tackle at the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 4 coming up now for the Gulfport Admirals. 1-by-2 set back off to the left shoulder of Williams. Going to move the H-back over here. Could be 2-down territory for him. Going to hand it to the back, and he is hit right at the line and picks up a yard. It's going to be Smith again, and it'll be 4th down.
Jacoby Span getting off the block, getting into backfield penetration. Going to make the tackle. Didn't quite make the tackle, but slowed him up, bounced him back. Allowed, I believe that was Alex Wilson, maybe cleaning it up to force the tackle.
Down 21-0 on the road. It is a non-region game. Blake Pennick's going to keep his offense out there. Plus, I mean, Brandon's had the ball 3 times, 3 scores. So he's like, hey, look, we got to have more than 3 on this possession.
Definitely got to get some points. And you better believe you don't want to settle for a field goal. But I tell you what, going for it 4th down here. We'll see what happens.
4th down and a long 2 here for Williams. 2 receivers far side set. Williams runs the old-fashioned option far side. It's going to pay off. He's going to walk in. Touchdown Gulfport. Desmond Smith, they had the 2 receivers on the far side, ran those guys off, and Herbie old school 1-2 step pitch touchdown.
Read the linebacker. If he steps up, you pitch it to the pitch guy. Your receivers run a defensive back off. The defensive back's got to get off of, off the block and off coverage. Try to get up to make the running back tackle on the running back. But I don't know if you noticed. So what we've done, we've also one little adjustment we've made. Nate Blunt is in the game playing linebacker, and I think they've got him in the game playing spy on Williams, the quarterback.
Machua on. That kick is up, and it is good. Gulfport carves into that lead. Bulldogs now on top, 21-7.
Big thank you, Jake Wim. At 21-7 there on an impressive touchdown by Desmond Smith. And now here's a punting opportunity. And oh boy, special teams can cost you dearly in a game, especially when you're on the road. And Hartfield gets a big-time recovery on a muff punt. And we've also got to look in. We're now headed to, I think, Starkville Academy. A long pass coming up here. We don't have names on these guys because we weren't anticipating having this game on tonight, but it is what it is, and Starkville gets on the board first. That's a good football team, too, in the Vols.
It is, and probably a little better than I thought they'd be in the preseason, but they have a chance.
Northwest Rankin and Brookhaven playing in Old Brook, and they are tied up 7 apiece. That game is in the second quarter with about, it says, I think, 1 minute to go in the first quarter. Let's take a listen in. I believe Darryl Palmer on the call there.
Good pass and catch from Wes White to Deshaun Dillon. Wes looks to the sidelines again. Plenty of time on the play clock. Just now dropped under 20. Takes a snap. Dylan Lewis on the carry, left side. He'll gain about 3 or 4 on the play. Well, looks like they're only going to give him a couple just inside the 20 at the 19. Make it 2. Second down, 8. Clock inside a minute remaining in the first quarter. We're tied at 7. White's pass complete to Sean Dillon. Makes a man miss. Knocked out of bounds by number 4, Eddie Ratliff. But it'll be down about a yard shy of the first down. Let's see where they're going to spot it. Out of bounds at the 13. So we'll call it 2 yards short. Now Wes White takes the snap. Hands it to Dylan Lewis. Makes a man miss inside the 10. Down to about the 7 or 8 yard line. That'll be a bank plus. 1st and goal for the Cougars. They'll stop the clock to move the chains. 22 seconds on the clock. We'll see if the Cougars want to go ahead and try to run it in here and change quarters. My guess is you want to get a playoff right now. You got the defense on their heels. I think you want to get this play off and do it right now. Don't give the defense a chance to regroup on the sidelines at the quarter break. 3 receivers to the left side. Defense still shifting to get out there. 10 seconds on the clock. White takes a snap, gives it to Dylan Lewis. Cuts to the left, lowers his head, drives forward at the 1 yard line, maybe the 2. He's down, and that'll be the end of the first quarter, tied at 7, but the Cougars threatening. We'll take 60 seconds and be back on the Cougar Sports Network.
Now we check in with Madison Central on a big pass play coming up here. As the Jaguars from midfield trying to get on the board because they trail early, 14-0. Talk about high pointing the football. That is athleticism there if you've ever seen it. And as we all scramble for the rosters, that was Jaden Johnson, the junior. Bob Sullender on the call. Let's head now to Madison, where the Jags and Vikings are looking, the Jaguars are looking to get in the end zone.
Bounces free, comes to the near side at the 5, down to the 1 yard line. That'll be enough for a bank plus 1st down, so it'll be 1st and goal for the Jags. But he was hit in the backfield and just was able to pop out and come to the near side for the 1st down.
How did he get out of that? Was spun around at the line of scrimmage, did a Houdini act, was able to bounce to the outside. Jaden Johnson out in front of him, got a block, enough to free him, picked up the 1st down, 1st and goal Jags.
Pulling window and door red zone, hand off to Singleton on a delay. Going to be hit and driven back. Might have lost a yard on that one. 2nd and goal. Under 5 minutes to go here in the Lost Pizza 2nd quarter. Madison Central and Warren Central. Warren Central on top 14-0 here at Homecoming 2023.
Did lose a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from about the 3 yard line. They was stacked up along the line of scrimmage.
Jaden Johnson at quarterback, hands off to Singleton. There was a stoppage of play. Looks to be a penalty flag, and it's going to be on Warren Central. The Kincaid's fine clothing penalty flag, offsides on the Vikings. Be half the distance to the goal. Remains 2nd down.
Fairly lined up in the neutral zone. Side judge called that. Down will remain the same. It's 2nd down.
14-7 your score. Warren Central over Madison Central. The Jags threatening 2nd down and goal from the 3. Handoff is to Singleton. Singleton into the end zone. Touchdown Jaguars. A Brick City Drugs touchdown for Glenn Singleton with 4:17 left in this 1st half. Lost Pizza 2nd quarter.
Boy, did the Jags need that.
Glenn Singleton with the TD for Madison Central. They'll look for the extra point. Now we shift gears and flip on over to the Northwest Rankin Brookhaven matchup. And there's another score in that one as the Cougars have found the red zone and now the end zone with another touchdown score. 14-7 Cougars.
And that's Dylan Lewis with the touchdown score. Dylan, one of the most underrated running backs in the state. And that's not just because I know the kid and from there, but he is a big-time player.
We're inside the red zone, presented to you by Walk-On's Bistro and Bar. We're so glad you're with us. You've got all the scores rolling at the bottom of your screen, and now a live look at 4 different matchups. You got Hartfield at the top left corner in the 2nd quarter as they get closer to halftime and homecoming festivities there. A 2-touchdown advantage on Lafayette. Jackson Prep is up on Evangel, 14-0. You've got 2nd quarter action. Simpson and PCS tied at 7, and then Pillow Academy 7-6. And before we go anywhere, I wanted to also mention you got the Mississippi Gridiron magazine. You might need to pick one of these up. How does somebody get a hold of one of the magazines that you spent a whole lot of time working on?
If they go to our website right now, it's right on the front if you want to order one. That's the easiest way to get them. And then we're going to make these more available towards the end of the year.
Very cool. That's, again, you can get online and you can find all of the high school information, not just football, folks. They follow all the high school sports. He and Brandon Shields do a phenomenal job covering the high school sports in the state of Mississippi. When we come back, we'll take looks back in at all these games and get you caught up on all the highlights as well, as Jackson Prep looks like they're now in the red zone and about to score again. Back with more live here on Inside the Red Zone, presented to you by Walk-Ons of Ridgeland.
Watkins Construction and Roofing
Wants to be your first call.
For safe, sound, and long-lasting.
For trust and peace of mind.
For premier and accredited. Because every phone call we take,
every roof installed, every customer we serve matters.
When your goal is to be the premier roofing company serving your community,
the details are everything.
Your home or business losing power is a major interruption to your comfort, safety, and security. Taylor Power Systems standby generators ensure you will keep the lights on during a power outage. With multiple sizes to choose from, alongside diesel, natural gas, and propane fuel options, Taylor Power easily has the right standby generator for you. Call and speak to a Taylor Power specialist today, 601-922-4444.
The first time I ever walked into a Walk-Ons, I looked around and I said, if I were ever to create my own sports bar, it would be just like this. It's the atmosphere, it's a friendly staff, feeling like, this is a place for everyone. It starts with the culture. I mean, you walk in and it's almost this game day atmosphere, but then you begin to taste the food. I think the food certainly separates us from any other sports bar concept there could be out there. Walk-Ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Continuing coverage of Inside the Red Zone, presented to you by Mississippi Smart Homes. Southern Ag Credit. And Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. It's an empty brickyard. That's right, Raider Field is not in use tonight, but the facility you just saw some pictures of is the Learning Commons here on campus at JA. And that's where we're broadcasting live from as we take you live to Starkville Academy, looking to go up by 2 touchdowns in a 70-yard TD run here. 14-0 Vols now. Look at that.
Gone.
Just snuck in the end zone. That's J.E. Logan Field. And Pillow Academy right now is down 2 touchdowns.
When's the last time you caught a game at Starkville Academy?
Last year.
Last year you got there.
Yeah, they're coming to JA in 2 weeks for homecoming. And so we were last year at J.A. Logan Field. It's a really cool place. They've done a lot of improvements there as well.
They have.
I mean, there are a lot of schools that have built new press boxes, gotten turf, and jumbotrons, and it's
right. It's all
arms race.
It's what we're doing right now. It's this. And look, this is an awesome broadcast, but you're also able to patch into people doing broadcasts. It wasn't like this 10, 15 years ago.
5, 6 years ago, we couldn't have pulled this off. And with the incredible new Raider Network production truck and 3 replay operators and 2 amazing guys in the truck, and Eddie and Josh directing traffic along with Tommy hanging out the scores, that's the only way this whole thing is hanging together right now. Hartfield Academy is trying to add to their lead as they're in the red zone. Not in the red zone, but they will get into and through the red zone with this long touchdown run. Oh, boy.
Reed Jeslowski?
Yeah, he has torched 6A running numbers. He's up at the top now in the leaderboard for 6A rushing.
He is. And look, and that's considering a lot of blowouts where he didn't get the ball a whole lot. So his numbers aren't really where they were last year. He's yards per carry are way up. But that kid is a athletic freak headed to Southern Miss.
I love how we zoomed in on his feet there just to show how fast he's actually was going. Now it looks like me we're running the camera. Jackson Prep and Evangel, as Jackson Prep looks for a third score, and they're going to find yet another easy touchdown. And that young man is Micah Stallworth. He is a stud on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, also a great cornerback for the Patriots, and he's had a really big year so far.
And then you've got the extra point by Eli Adams, the sophomore kicker. And I can tell you that as we take a look at 4 different games right now, I was going to keep an eye back on the extra point for you to make sure. Oh, it was good. Sorry, they're on the kickoff now. So, there it is. Look at that. Ask and you shall receive. All right, now we go back to our 4-box coverage as Gulfport has gotten 1 score. Now they're trying to get this game back down to a single-score game.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's a well-coached football team. You see Nick Williams at cornerback. You heard Jake mention in their broadcast about Nate Blunt spying him. That's because Nick Williams is about a 6'4", 205-pound, 4'6", 40 quarterback for Blake Pennick, and he's hard to tackle.
Madison Central on the right top corner just got a turnover. Now they could climb back to within a point or perhaps a tie if they go for 2, if they can get in the end zone again.
One thing about that Madison game earlier, the great catch that we saw down the field the last time I went to him, Jake Johnson, that was a kid that was quarterback early in the year. He and Big Piccirillo were going back and forth who was going to start. And so, but he can play other positions, is also a defensive back. So you're now seeing him move to wide out, make big plays, and that offense with a Piccirillo at quarterback, they're starting to do some things.
I'm assuming that's the same Piccirillo that his brother went down to.
Yes, same one. But this is younger brother, is just a 10th grader.
Wow. Something else. All right, let's, I think we're going to Brandon. Nope. They're in a timeout. We'll get to that here in just a second. Ocean Springs and Picayune 17-7, and then Northwest Rankins 14-7. Jackson Prep's up by 3 touchdowns. PCS and Simpson are tied at 7. And now let's join Jake Wimberly as Gulfport tries to get into the end zone.
For the Gulfport Admirals, very historic stadium they play in down there in Gulfport. Had a chance to call several ball games down there over the years. Really nice place. Gulfport, great community. 4th down. Fumble, ball is on the ground. Williams going to pick it up. And let's get out of Chris. Chris looks like he just kind of lost it on the exchange there.
So that was actually a direct snap to the man in motion, and he just could not come down with that. He would put the man in motion. He was going to grab it and never be a handoff. He just drops the ball in the turf, picks it back up, and unable to pick the first down. So that's unfortunate luck for Gulfport, but Brandon gets a big stop there on 4th down.
First down and 10. Bulldogs hold. Now Gulfport 1 for 2 on 4th down. It's 9:01 to go. First half action. Coming up at halftime, we'll have the coaches show on the radio. We'll have the band performance here on the live stream. Of course, we'll get stats pulled together for you, get you some more scores around the state. Pearl now up 28-7 over Germantown across town.
Yeah, South Panola 6 and Clinton 3 at halftime.
Hand off to Blunt. He's going to go off right side and pick up about 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Yeah.
Thanks for that scoring update. Just reminding me that I got another pick wrong with Germantown and Pearl. Thanks so much. I was just trying to put a different logo on the screen. That's all it was for. It was simply for looks.
No, you got to own it. Those are your picks. You got to own it.
All right, Northwest Rankin, Old Brook. We've talked about this matchup already, and Northwest Rankin starting to flex their muscle.
Yeah, and that's a bigger school, with Northwest Rankin, not just bigger, but better. But you're on the road, so you never know what happens when you travel in the state. And I tell people this all the time: the further away from home you get, the harder it's going to be to win.
That's right.
There's lots of factors involved in that, but it's just the way it is.
Let's head live now into Old Brook and find out what's happening there. It is a touchdown here again for Northwest Rankin. As they have, what a catch.
I mean, that's 6 again. That's 15. I think that's Cade Thortis. I'm almost positive.
Wow, what a catch. I mean, that was full extension. That's what that was. I mean, that is commitment to that one. And now Hartfield has put another touchdown on the board. They have gone up by 4 scores. They're going to send the folks to the homecoming dance early tonight. It's Jaslowski. Is that a punt return for a touchdown? Yeah. My goodness.
And people should know this with Reed. I mean, he's 6'3", 205 pounds. He's 4'5". Look, that's like legitimate, not just made up number, 4'5", 40 kid.
Let's take a look back at how it took place. No, it was just a run. I'm sorry, because all we saw was the end of it. Holy smokes. I mean, that was about a 70-yard run for him, and he just puts it into another gear. They always say it's always good just to be faster than everybody else behind you.
Yeah, and the thing with him, Brian, colleges love him potential as a tight end, and it's very easy to see why.
He's got at least, I think 8 or 10 touchdowns now on the year on the ground. Jackson Prep and ECS. Let's join it now.
That is Turner Reeves.
Turner Reeves, and that looked like a horse collar tackle.
Well,
Turner takes it down to the 10.
so when you're playing basketball, you say white to white, blue to blue. That time he threw it white to blue.
A good interception by Turner. Got a nice block from Grubbs, and then it was just he's just going to have to outrace her. Look at that, that's a horse collar.
Should have been. But, you know, Russ, that's almost identical to the play Thomas Cross picked him off to begin the ball game.
It sure is.
Reeves just did it on the left side.
So Puckett back in the ball game now. And I think we're going to get Will Gideon in the ball game now at running back. Puckett sets him down. They'll hand it off Gideon, left side. Getting down close to the 8. Will Gideon running the football.
Ball came out, but they're saying it was down. His progress had been stopped.
John Andrew, is there some moisture on that grass tonight? We got a lot of guys dropping the ball.
I don't think very much moisture is down here, Russ.
I mean, they're hitting, in other words.
Sweat.
These boys are hitting pretty hard.
Second down and 8 after a pickup of 2. Parker hands it straight ahead. Nice hard run. It's a touchdown, but a penalty flag is down, and you would think that's holding on Prep.
Yeah, and it's, again, this is where getting away from the spot of the foul hurts you
5 or 15
on the rule change.
15 results play was touchdown. Hard.
So the result of that play was, in fact, a touchdown. Jackson Prep now leading 28-0 in their contest. So you've got both games in Flowood with identical scores. The home team up 28-0 in both of those. And now we've got Northwest Rankin up 20-7 on Brookhaven. You've got Ocean Springs leading 17-7 over Picayune. Tied between Madison Central and Warren Central 14-14. And now we take you live to Hattiesburg as PCS is threatening to score again.
A loss back to the 6-yard line of Simpson Academy, so it's still second and goal now, but from a deeper yard line. So loss of 4 there. 2:20 on the second quarter clock. PCS with plenty of time. 25 on the play clock. As Crowder goes under center this time, has Jet Henderson to the right, Cade Welford to the left as receivers. Feeds the fullback straight ahead, pushing a pile forward up near the 3-yard line. As carrying at that time was John Hayes Hunter for PCS. Clock rolls inside 2 minutes with 3rd down and goal upcoming from the 2.
Tell you, I'd go right back to that same play if I'm PCS. Just a quick fullback dive or pull it and look to throw it to your tight end.
Ryder lights the tailback, Hunter the fullback. They give it to Hunter again, straight ahead, stood up near the goal line, trying to push the pile forward. I don't think he got it. He is to the 1-yard line, and this will bring up 4th down.
Do it again. I mean, it's gotten you 3 yards. It's gotten you right at 2 or 1.
And did not get a favorable spot. Ooh. They say he only got back to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, wow.
Well, that will result in, again, a 4th down and goal from the 2-yard line. Coach Brown wants to call a timeout and talk about it.
I thought he was at least down to the 1 easy, because there was some momentum going forward there. The line was pushed forward. I don't see how he didn't get past the line of scrimmage.
Well, tough play right there. We welcome all of you watching on the Raider Network for their Red Zone coverage. Glad Eubank and Chris Brooks are out there covering all these games tonight. PCS in a tough spot right here in a tie game, but trying to go up before halftime here with 1:16 remaining, as they have it 4th down and goal from the 2 upcoming. And this is a huge down, and it's decision time as far as what type of play you want to draw up. Right now, Simpson has committed fully to stopping the gaps up the center to where John Hayes Hunter could not get through on that last play. So you wonder if maybe Coach Brown wants to go through the air this time, or maybe trust that the blocks will hold up for Crowder to escape around the outside again.
Well, there's been some success in that Wildcat look. That's what I would call it. And so I wouldn't be surprised to go back to that. Also, that sweeping quarterback keeper to Cannon has had some success, even though Simpson did trip him up in the backfield this last couple of plays. But I think that's probably more likely to be what we see, if not going back to that fullback dive again. But like we said, I'm really shocked that the ball was not spotted more around the 1 yard line as opposed to the 2.
Same personnel group, Hunter the fullback, Ryder Light the tailback. Crowder will be under center with a receiver each way. Welford to the left and another one to the right. Snap comes, handoff straight ahead. Hunter to the goal line, and the signal is... I didn't see it. I didn't see a signal yet. The public address has said touchdown, and I haven't seen a call yet. They said it is short. John Hayes Hunter stood up at the goal line, just short of the end zone. With 1:06 to go, Simpson Academy has it. First down and 10. And I can't believe Hunter did not find a way to cross the plane of the end zone. That nose of the football has maybe a couple pieces of paper separating it between its nose and the goal line.
Wow. He was laying in the end zone. I don't know.
Ooh, that's a tough one. That is a hard one. Now, I'll say this.
That's a touchdown.
It probably is. But let me tell you this. On our broadcast, we hardly ever, sometimes I do make a mistake and I'll say something like, oh boy, that was a tough call, the officials. Those guys have maybe the worst jobs in America. I'm not lying. I mean, there's everybody that's yelling at them. 50% of the crowd's telling they got it wrong, and not even the other 50s are really not telling they got it right for the most part.
Wife's probably yelling at them from the stands.
No doubt. So, and it's a profession that needs more people in it. So contact the MHSAA, contact the MAIS, get involved and become an official. It's something that this entire state is in need of. In fact, last year in the playoffs, they had to shift games to Thursdays and Fridays just because there weren't enough officials.
Yeah, usually I'll rip them, but it's only if they're my friends. Okay, if I know them, then I'll get after them. But you're exactly right. It's a tough job, especially now with social media and
everybody's streaming. Everybody's got camera angles,
and it's going that particular play. It'll be replayed and replayed and replayed. It'll be on social media tonight, and then somebody's going to find their phone number and address. And I mean, it's tough. It is.
It's not good. Well, and it's unfortunate, too, for our good friend, Mr. Smith on the PA, that he thought it was a touchdown, too. I thought it was a touchdown. I'm with him. All right, Picayune Ocean Springs, here we go. Live look, and it is a field goal attempt that is no good by the Greyhounds. But, boy, what a start. They've got a 17-7 lead. Does that surprise you at all?
Yeah, it does. Just because of, not because of Ocean Springs, but because of what I know about Picayune. Yeah. And we saw them early this year to lead the season off. They played Brandon, and they looked fantastic. So yeah, just in terms of how good I know they are, I'm a little surprised.
We got 8 games we are following. We've got a couple of them that are at halftime and doing homecoming festivities and all that good stuff. Big thanks to walk-ons. There's a live look at some homecoming festivities in Madison going on right now. Brandon already did theirs. Pre-game, I love that idea, getting that out of the way and having a much shorter halftime. Maybe more schools will follow that. Hartfield at the top left of your screens, 28-0 still Hawks there. Prep is going to have a running clock on ECS in the second half. They're up 35-0 now on the Eagles there. PCS and Simpson, you just saw 7-7 at the break, and heartbreak that they didn't take that lead on a touchdown right before the end of the half. Starkville, the Vols of Starkville leading Pillow 21-0. You've got Brandon leading Gulfport in the middle of your screen there, 21-7. And then at the half, 14-14, Warren Central and Madison Central. Northwest Rankin is leading Brookhaven 21-7. And then you've got Ocean Springs leading 17-7 over Picayune. That is the 8 games we're following, and we've also got to look in at we never did get the Oxford feed, which was the one we had lined up, but Starkville, we were able to bring up their live stream on a separate feed that we can't give to you guys, but I can give you the score. It's Jackets 14 and Chargers 7 there.
That's a workaround. You're so good at this. And honestly, your crew?
No, they're amazing.
They really are.
I wish I
wish people could hear all this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in our ears because they're trying to direct traffic. It's kind of like a flight control person in the airport. They're just trying to land the planes, and we're out here trying to fly them into the stratosphere for sure. Yeah. Let's head live to our friend Jake Wimberly again, as they are almost, Gulfport is almost to the red zone.
Up, and that's going to be caught down at the 4-yard line as Joseph. I mean, look, great coverage, but Joseph with his 6th catch, and boy, what a big one.
Yeah, Joseph doing a little jawing at the end of the reception. Again, McIntyre, new defensive back in the ball game. Not sure if one of the other defensive backs is injured. But McIntyre, good coverage, but he just never got turned around. And as the ball was delivered, it was, right off of his hip, but McIntyre just never got turned around.
6 catches for 71 yards for Joseph. First down and goal. That'll go nowhere. Let's get out of Chris.
Yeah, you just said that, Purvey. Just, the new defensive back in the game, Preston Ashley, is over there. He's back on his feet, but not playing much right now. They were taping up his knee earlier with the K-tape. But that's just unfortunate because if he turns around, he actually has a play on that ball. He just could not turn around and find it.
Oh, yeah, it's an interception if he gets turned around.
2:17 to go. Gulfport trying to make it a one-score ball game. They will get the ball to start the third quarter. Told you it's a long ball game. Bulldogs jumped out to a 21-0 advantage. Gulfport scored, make it 21-7. Now they're going to run option play far side, and he is going to have a shot. He is going to walk in and score. Touchdown, Gulfport.
Yeah, textbook again. Outside linebackers on option. You've got the pitch guy, but boy, if you've got a long way to get there, just too much space to try to get to the running back before he gets to the end zone. And actually, I think that was Russell Robbins from his safety position trying to make that tackle. Linebackers got to watch, tackle. There's blocking down on the tackle, but tackle the end has got to get off that block, stretch out there, force that the quarterback to pitch. But somebody's got to fill in that gap and take the running back.
Got a stoppage of play out here as the officials want to talk about it. Chris, what are we talking about down there?
Yeah, offsides, lined up in the neutral zone on Brandon, or encouragement is what they're going to call, but just lined up a little bit too close to the football.
Number 83, Hay goes to PNT.
Kick is blocked. Blocked by the Bulldogs. Of course, that's a dead play in high school football. So it's 21-13. Bulldogs on top. 1:57 until the half. Don't go anywhere. Back with a kick in 30 seconds.
If you're looking for a great, delicious.
So that was Jake Wimberly on the call, and that was Desmond Smith with, I think, his second touchdown of the night already for Gulfport. They're fighting back to within a score. Purvey Green, Chris Ebel here on the call as well there on the Brandon Bulldogs Network. We appreciate them for hanging out with us. And man, what a start to this day we've had. I mean, we've only got a little bit of time left, about an hour or so left in our coverage, maybe a little bit longer. And some of those games are at halftime. And if you haven't had dinner yet, or if you're going after the game, Walk-Ons is the perfect place to go. It is. They got burgers and hamburgers. I just did hamburgers twice. They've got the best shrimp po' boy anywhere in town.
Or if you're going to eat during the break and then your wife texts you that she sees you trying to chew it when you come back, you can do that.
You can get caught on camera eating. That is exactly what happened to Chris Brooks. Big thanks to Matt Miner and his crew at Walk-Ons in Ridgeland for hanging out with us and allowing us to bring you this coverage tonight here on the Raider Network. When we come back, we'll continue with more look-ins at all 8 games right here live on the Raider Network, presented by Southern Ag Credit and powered by Mississippi Smart Homes.
You practice that one thing over and over. After a few thousand reps, you master it. That's why the subspecialists at Mississippi Sports Medicine focus on one specific area of the body. So when they see you, they've seen your condition thousands of times. For a winning outcome, turn to Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. Your life, our focus.
As a division of Ewing and Ray Foundation Services, Poly-Up of Mississippi is in the business of helping customers lift settling driveways, sidewalks, curbs, and gutters. Specializing in both residential and commercial, we are here to help you remove those eyesores, drainage problems, and trip hazards. Our Poly-Up process will repair and lift your concrete sidewalks or driveway to a safe condition for typically half the price of replacement and with no loss of use. Contact us today by visiting our website or giving us a call. We lift concrete with foam.
My name is Jake Manning. I'm here with Mississippi Smart Homes, and we work to make any building a smart building. So once we get somebody scheduled, which we can typically do within a week, an assessment only takes an hour, and after we assess, assuming that we have everything in stock, it only takes 2 days to do an install. From the time that you call us to the time that your install is finished is less than a week. So if you're interested in making your home a smart home, give us a call today.
How do you unwind? Whether it's hunting, riding horses, or just sitting around a campfire. It's better on land you own. Southern Ag Credit can finance that land. Give our Ridgeland office a call at 601-499-2850. Jamie, Kevin, and Pate will get you started. Or visit us online at southernagcredit.com.
Welcome back inside the Red Zone, presented to you by Walk-Ons Bistro and Bar. It is a fantastic joint right there in Ridgeland. If you haven't stopped by there, I encourage you to do so either today or maybe tomorrow. And I talked to Matt and I said, is it very busy on Saturdays? He said, yeah, just a little bit. It's chaotic, actually. He goes, and I really want to watch some football. He didn't get to watch a lot of football at Walk-On. So,
No.
yeah, maybe when he's taking food to a table. Matt, man, we appreciate you and all that you do for the community because they give back. And that's what Walk-Ons does by being a sponsor of this program tonight. The Battle of Centrals is going on in the jungle, and it started off with a Warren Central 14-0 lead. Looked like they might not run away with it, but kind of take control of that game, and then Madison Central fought their way back to a tie.
Yeah, you saw a touchdown a while ago by Glenn Singleton, tailback for Madison Central. One of those kids, not a big guy, 180 pounds, but runs like he's 200 pounds. And then we talked a little bit about their quarterback, Ben Picarella's 10th grade kid, to the quarterback he was competing with early in the year, Jaden Johnson, for a big play down the field. But not surprised, Madison Central's playing well.
Who's the better Picarella?
His older brother's pretty good.
He's pretty good, yeah.
But, I mean, you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
Ben's just a kid.
Yeah.
He's at that age when, you're still changing. I mean, he's barely out of that. And then you see over the next couple of years how his body changes and what he can do. But I'll tell you what he can do. He's light right now. He's probably 150, 160, somewhere there. But he can spin it.
Yeah, boy. I mean, you love to see that ball come off the hand of the quarterbacks can really fire those spirals in there. Also, Brandon in Gulfport has turned into a ball game. Brandon took an early lead in that one as well, and you saw now Gulfport fighting back to within a score. Are you not really surprised to see that, are you?
No, just because Brandon's playing good football right now.
I meant the Gulfport comeback. To get back in this thing. I mean, they've. Was that surprising?
No, I talked to Blake Pennick before the season, the new head coach down there at Gulfport, and got a rundown. I know him well enough where I feel like I'm being shot straight, one of those things.
Absolutely.
So, look, they have playmakers in the backfield, quarterback, offensive line. I mean, that's a good football team. This is the thing that they deal with. Okay, that's a new coach taking over a place, and it was already on good footing, but they have to learn how to win games like this against quality opponents when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a measuring stick for where they are in the first year under Blake. But not surprised just in terms of the roster talent that they have.
Just got to halftime. Brandon now is going to go to the locker room with a halftime lead of 21-13. One other matchup we're really looking at, because some of these other games have already gotten out of hand a little bit. Hartfield and Prep both up by multiple touchdowns, 4 and 5 touchdowns apiece there. And so our focus will really lean on these games in the second halves, especially Ocean Springs and Picayune.
The Hartfield game, okay, just before we break.
I mean, don't discount what they've done.
Just a comment about that's a big deal for them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a Lafayette team. Anthony Hart's back there, new head coach that won state championships back in the day.
Yeah.
And Anthony came up here and was coach at Madison Central for a while. He's terrific. So he's back there. That's a good football team this year. One of the favorites in that classification. So this was kind of a measuring stick for Hartfield. People wondering, well, there's all of these recruits on this roster. How good is this football team? Because they had not been challenged.
Yeah.
And I think they are making a statement.
Yeah, they answered the bell, no doubt. So let's talk a little bit more now about Ocean Springs and Picayune, and that Maroon Tide is something.
Yeah, I mean, you remember last year they had Dante Dowdell, running back that went for 2,500 yards. He's now at Oregon, doing his thing there. They put Chris Davis in the backfield. Chris was a 1,000-yard rusher the last couple of years right there, and he'll be that 2,000, 2,500-yard rusher this year. And that's a good football team. So for Ocean Springs to do what they're doing in that game, lets you know what kind of team that Jake Bramlett, who has a ton of ties here. A lot of people here know him from this area. He's been the offensive coordinator there under Blake. And then Blake leaves, goes to go for it. Jake gets his shot. So he's doing a good job in year one.
Let's get a set of tires, right? All right, Northwest Rankin and Brookhaven's the only game live right now. Everybody else is at halftime, so we're going to treat you guys to the only game in action as we send you now No, and you know what? They just went to commercial break, so we're just going to keep it here for just a second longer. Oh, I know why. Because they wanted us to talk to you about Mississippi Gridiron
Look
Magazine.
at you doing product placement for me.
You haven't been able to get one of these right here, folks. This guy right here, along with Brandon Shields and I'm sure some other guys, maybe just the two of you, I can't remember.
Not a whole lot.
It's just mostly these
That's
two guys.
about it.
Not just the website. This book chock full of not just high school stuff, college, JUCOs. They run all over
I have one
this
too.
thing.
Can I tell you what we did with this?
What'd you do?
We previewed all of 7A public, 6A private, all of those. And then top 10 in every classification. Then we did the junior colleges and we did every college. Okay, this is what I'm doing next year with it. We're going, no, I don't want to say that.
You want to promise something?
This thing's hard to do. This thing took 3 months of my life. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
I would like to go back to doing every high school. Okay, I think there's a pathway to do that. And in the process of doing that, put something in here about all the SEC schools. I've done that before, in addition to some of the other stuff.
I remember those days.
You've seen it. I've done it before.
Oh, I know.
I would
It's
like
a lot of work.
You're trying to put together something that just everybody would have use of. So it's got everybody's schedule in there. I'd like to have all the senior football players' names in there. So one day you can look back and you can go through some of that. But I already told you earlier, I think there's a way for me to do this next year where I do some covers for individual schools. If they want to be part of that, that'd be very cool. Look, I'm going to do one. This is already done. I'm doing one in December.
They're killing me, Mayors. Go ahead.
Are they really?
Yeah, they're killing me. Go
What
ahead.
are they killing you for?
Just keep talking.
They want you to talk?
No. Oh, no. They do not want me to talk. What more are you going to do in December?
Can I tell you what my idea was? Though?
Yes. What is your idea?
Put a camera in the truck. I want a camera on those guys.
Oh, there's 3 cameras in there.
Why aren't they on our screen?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go. Let's see the guys in the truck. All right. There's the front row. That's
there we go.
Eddie and Josh. Those guys pushing all the buttons. All right. Our next row is replay. You got replay. Yep, there's Alexander and Bennett. That's 2 of our replay operators.
I like those guys. I like Alexander.
And then Knox is on the back row. He's hanging out doing replay as well.
I like Knox.
And
he looks like a good guy.
Tommy B is in a room all by himself.
I don't know about Tommy.
You know about Tommy.
I don't know about
TB,
Tommy.
he's one of the best in the business, and he is, oh yeah, there he is. There's TB. He is running all the scores for us. So.
Yeah, I want more of those guys. More camera time for them. Those are actually
They're
awesome
the hard
guys.
workers.
But back to December, I want to do a yearbook where we cover the state championships. I've done 2 of them. The best magazine I probably ever did was 2011. Nobody has it, okay? Because we couldn't distribute the thing. But it covered every state championship game that year. There's 13 public and private. I'd like to do something that has that in here that we can knock out into the year. What's so funny? I went in on this
If
job.
only you could hear what is happening behind the scenes.
Did I do something? Like something?
We're going to go to Northwest Rankin now and
something
finish
in my
off this
nose
half.
or something. My wife said I was eating something. I mean, is that a problem?
Dillon runs straight up to middle. Brought down there by number 22, Lewis. Tackles Lewis. Gain of just a couple. Second down 8. Clock will run. West White will watch the play clock. They just now started. The 40 was a little late. That's good. West will take all the time he wants. Let's see if he looks at the play clock. Lets it count. Looks to the sidelines to Coach Leathers. Coach Leathers may wait to give him the play. I saw West turn around, look at the play clock behind him. Coach Leathers isn't in any rush to give him the play. Now he signals the play in. Play clock now at 10. West takes a snap, fakes a handoff, throws it, intercepted, throws it straight in to the hands of Darrell Washington, who goes down at about the 17. I don't know what that was supposed to be. I'm really don't know about the play call. You let the clock run down. Just hand it to Dylan Lewis and let him run up the field 3, 4, 5 yards. Let the clock run down. If you get a first down, great. If you don't, punt it away deep. We give them the distance. Now you give them the ball at the 17-yard line. Only the 3rd interception of the season for West White. Again, 2 in the 4th quarter against Ocean Springs. But now a very costly one here tonight, potentially, late in the first half, giving the Panthers the chance to get some points on the board at the end of the half. They'll get the ball to begin the second half. And right now they got momentum on their side. See what the Cougar defense can do to keep them out of the end zone. 57 seconds. Allen takes a snap, back to pass, looks towards the end zone, throws it, almost intercepted. There's a flag at the line of scrimmage. Latavius Hunt almost had the interception. Almost could have been offensive pass interference as he had the receiver hanging on him. as he was trying to catch the ball. If that is against the Panthers, I think you want to back it up. You're not worried about the first down this right now. You just want to get them farther away from the goal. It's just a 5-yard penalty. Offsides against the offense. Offsides, not illegal procedure. So that means they lined up offsides. Somebody, a lineman or receiver, lined up in that neutral zone. The referee's explaining it to number 77, Mario Williams, one of the big linemen. Now the referee's explaining it to Coach Peavy. Now we'll try this again. 1st and 15. Play clock still hadn't started. Official just now gets ready to come back. Now he's coming over thought to say something to Coach Cooper, but didn't. So 57 seconds. Pass too high, intercepted by the Cougars on the tip. And the Cougars come down with the ball. And I think, Otavius Hunt comes down with the interception. And the Cougars get the turnover right back. And the defense does it again for Northwest Rankin. Coach Philip Poole and his defense got to be pretty excited about this first half. They've given up 0 points on the defense. Special teams gave up the touchdown for the Panthers. Now, 34 seconds on the clock. Hand the ball to Dylan Lewis. And let's run the clock out. Wes White takes the snap, hands the ball to Dylan Lewis. Straight up the middle, gets about 5-6 yards. Clock's going to run. Let's see if Brookhaven's going to call a timeout. I don't see them calling timeout. Gain of about 6 on the play, 2nd down 4. We don't even have to snap it. And the referee's looking, don't even go to the ball. Just come to the sidelines. Clock's running down at 10 seconds to go in a half. Stay tuned at halftime. The Northwest Rankin Cougar Band's going to perform to begin with. Soon as they finish, had interviews with our 2 basketball coaches. Jaleesa Taylor, our girls basketball
former
coach.
Lady Raider, Jaleesa Taylor.
Right there.
Former Lady Raider getting interviewed at halftime. Very cool. So that was Daryl Palmer on the call. Northwest Rankin with a 28-7 halftime advantage over Brookhaven as we have reached halftime of all of these games now. And we knew that was going to happen. And because our guys are in the truck, they were actually putting together something very interesting on this very special night for a lot of folks. But
scared to know what that is. That's a good thing.
I think it's going to, I hope it's going to be a good thing. They've already embarrassed me once by laughing hysterically on the air, but you know what? You just, if we don't have fun when you're doing your job, then I don't know.
I'm just sitting here trying to figure out what to do with my hands. So, I mean,
you don't know what to do?
I know all about, problems. That's a big one.
Okay. All right, we are at halftime of all of these games, and Starkville High School is up 14, was it 20-7? I already lost the track of that score. It was 20-7 at the half. Starkville in that little egg bowl. When we come back, we'll get you some caught back up moments on half times all around the state of Mississippi right here on Inside the Red Zone, presented to you by Walk-Ons of Ridgeland.
Watkins Construction and Roofing
wants to be your first call.
For safe, sound, and long-lasting.
For trust and peace of mind.
For premier and accredited. Because every phone call we take.
Every roof installed.
Every customer we serve matters.
When your goal is to be the premier roofing company serving your community.
The details are everything.
How local is Bank Plus? We're here, and here. And we're with you here, and here. Wherever, whenever you need us. We make our banking decisions right here because local means more than a location. It means a commitment to deliver more for our customers and our communities. Your bank, your plus, Bank Plus.
For over 100 years, Albritton's has been Mississippi's foremost diamond merchant. Here at Albritton's, you can find the perfect gift for any occasion, from timepieces to engagement rings and more. Over the course of 4 generations, we have refined and perfected our jewelry selection to better suit the needs of our customers. Located across from Highland Village at 4460 Old Canton Road, Albritton's continues to be your most trusted jeweler. Come see us today.
With the My Trustmark mobile app, no matter where you happen to find yourself, there's a world of opportunity. Check your balances from a friend's house. Deposit checks with a smartphone or tablet from the back porch. Or send payments with email or text during a family get-together. Live your life more freely. Make My Trustmark your Trustmark. Get started at trustmark.com.
When you think of your mortgage needs, there's only one name to remember: First Horizon. Nason Williams has over 20 years of experience in mortgage lending and getting his clients to the closing table on time. From conventional loans and government loans to private loans for physicians, attorneys, dentists, CPAs, pharmacists, and other professionals, Nason has you covered. Call Nason for your consultation today. First Horizon wishes the Raiders much success on and off the field this year. First Horizon is an equal housing opportunity lender.
When you gamble, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. If your old air conditioner just survived this summer, you gambled and won. So, do you press your luck and go on for another summer? Or do you quit while you're ahead and cash in your chips on a new air conditioning system? With rebates, tax credits, 0% financing, and lower energy costs, is putting it off really a gamble worth taking? Environment Masters, hassle-free plumbing and AC. Okay, ante up.
You practice that one thing over and over. After a few thousand reps, you master it. That's why the subspecialists at Mississippi Sports Medicine focus on one specific area of the body. So when they see you, they've seen your condition thousands of times. For a winning outcome, turn to Mississippi Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. Your life, our focus.
Southern Ag Credit knows how important it is to get away, to rest and recuperate in a sanctuary of your own. Camping, hunting, fishing, spending time with loved ones, anything you like on land that's yours. For over a century, Southern Ag Credit has been helping its members establish legacies. We look forward to helping you build yours. To get started, give us a call or visit us online at southernagcredit.com.
Hey, Bill, did you stream that finale last night?
Oh, yeah.
No
spoilers!
Oh, they're vicious.
Customer inspired. That's C-Spire.
Welcome back to a very empty Brickyard, also known as Raider Field. You can see remnants of the band. They're U-Haul back there behind the Jumbotron. They're heading off to a competition tomorrow. Good luck to those guys and gals as they compete. And, of course, our Jumbotron still works really well at night. But, man, it's an empty facility, and we're inside the Learning Commons, which is the building all the way to the far left there, right behind the goalpost. And we are bringing you all 8 games that we promised you tonight. You see all matchups right there in the middle of your screen right there. We gave you the picks earlier. I'm obviously very wrong on most of these. And we also let you know before we went to that halftime timeout that the Centrals, Madison and Warren Central, are playing in a very tight one, and they have not disappointed. We joined Bob Sullender on the call in the jungle.
Touchdown. The official never raised his hands to signal touchdown.
He didn't, did he?
He did not, and until right at the end of that penalty call. Richardson on for the CIA Autoplex. Extra point, it's up, it's good. 21-14, Madison Central on top of Warren.
So Madison Central gets the early salvo to start the second half, leading 21-14. So, I mean, hey, this is good. This may be a game of who has the ball last wins.
Yeah, and the extra point there by Jack Richardson as a junior, another junior, first year starting there, one of the best kicker, punter, combo guys in the country.
And that, remember, that's 21 unanswered by Madison Central as they said, hey, we're the Central that's going to rule this one tonight. And that was, well, I don't have 3 on the roster, so I don't know who that was either. But there's another touchdown for the Jags.
The rosters are struggling a little bit.
Well, and here's the thing. You know, they were all on Max Preps for a while, and then they started a new Scorebook Live thing, which there's been like, it's hard to get everybody on the right page now because some people still fill out Max Preps, but it's never all the way accurate until you contact the coach, which I'll be honest with you folks, I did not have a lot of time on my hands this week, so I apologize for not getting all the rosters and all the names for those kiddos, but you know them very well, so you know who they are.
You're unbelievable, man.
No.
Can't believe you did that to the kids.
I failed you tonight. I'm sorry for that.
But you missed the SB Live thing, Max Preps thing, but that is, I mean, it's a little harder. Now, there's reasons for that, but
yeah. And trying
difficult.
to keep it all under one roof on the MHSAA side, but, you know, I mean, it is what it is. But thanks to Walk-Ons, they've kept us straight tonight by feeding us some fantastic food.
They did.
Of course, mozzarella logs over here. I had a burger, a shrimp po' boy, maybe both, we don't know. And you had all kinds of great items that our guys got to consume earlier. We really appreciate Matt for taking care of us here tonight. All right, we've got games that have just gone through halftime.
What's Matt's last name?
Minor.
I need to know him.
Yes, you do need
After
to.
that, I need to know him.
Yeah, Matt Miner. He is a fantastic manager over there at Walk-Ons. We do appreciate all that he does. So Jaguars 21-14 leading that game. And we are going to take one final timeout. When we come back, we're going to roll through the rest of the coverage and give you all kinds of look-ins to all 8 games. But you know what? We also got to give credit to the homecoming queens. Why not roll a montage of all of the ones that were crowned here tonight?
For over 100 years, Albritton's has been Mississippi's foremost diamond merchant. Here at Albritton's, you can find the perfect gift for any occasion, from timepieces to engagement rings and more. Over the course of 4 generations, we have refined and perfected our jewelry selection to better suit the needs of our customers. Located across from Highland Village at 4460 Old Canton Road, Albritton's continues to be your most trusted jeweler. Come see us today.
My name is Jake Manning. I'm here with Mississippi Smart Homes, and we work to make any building a smart building. So once we get somebody scheduled, which we can typically do within a week, an assessment only takes an hour, and after we assess, assuming that we have everything in stock, it only takes 2 days to do an install. From the time that you call us to the time that your install is finished is less than a week. So if you're interested in making your home a smart home, give us a call today.
The first time I ever walked into a Walk-Ons, I looked around and I said, if I were ever to create my own sports bar, it would be just like this. It's the atmosphere, it's a friendly staff, feeling like, this is a place for everyone. It starts with the culture. I mean, you walk in and it's almost this game day atmosphere, but then you begin to taste the food. I think the food certainly separates us from any other sports bar concept there could be out there. Walk-Ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Welcome back to continuing coverage of Inside the Red Zone. It's all presented to you by Walk-Ons. And oh boy, the lights are starting to turn off. Maybe we got to step up our coverage here as the Brickyard's starting to go dark. Don't worry, folks. We'll keep you rolling here on all the highlights. Madison Central and Warren Central, they are locked into a good one. Remember, it was Warren Central with the first 2 scores, Madison Central with 3 straight, and how about a little trickeration to get it going? Oh, hook and ladder. Nothing like it. Oh, run. Yeah, he got down there into scoring position. And Warren Central now has a chance to get back on the board. How about Starkville Academy? They're starting to put this one away and put the pillows to bed. Sorry.
I shouldn't laugh at that.
No, that was terrible.
Just eggs you on.
That was not a good pun. It really wasn't. And Pillow Academy is a good football team. That's just Starkville has had a really good night tonight against Pillow Academy. That's a 28-0 lead there for the Vols of Starkville. PCS and Simpson are back in action in the second half, 7-7. And then Warren Central, how did they cap it off? That fantastic trick play set them up for this. From 23 yards out, little fade route. What a catch. One-handed. You got mossed.
Yeah, and I'm drawing a blank. I think that's Josh's son at quarterback. Josh Morgan, 9th grade kid. Could you imagine that? Coaching your own kid under center, and he's in 9th grade playing with all these older kids. But he's talented, man. Can really play.
I know you did coach your children at some point. I know I did too.
The travel ball thing.
I failed miserably at it. I was told by my wife, and I'm talking like upward sports, where you're supposed to be positive and encouraging and all that stuff.
It's difficult.
I wasn't. She would come home. Why are you so difficult on your own children but not the other ones? I said, what are you talking about? And she showed me a video. I was like, oh boy, yep, I'm not coaching my kids anymore. All right, so kudos to Coach Morgan on how you do it. All right, good look here at 4 screens. 3 are not even contest right now. Jackson Prep's about to have a running clock against ECS. Hartfield, after they just crowned their homecoming queen, they're looking to get a 5th score and also do the same thing with a running clock. And Starkville's 1 score away from doing that too. The only game with MAIS ties that's any matchup right now is Simpson and PCS tied at 7. Your alma mater hanging in there.
Oh, they're hanging in the Cougars. You know what that place is called?
At Mendenhall? I've never called a game football there. I've done basketball and baseball there.
For PCS, they didn't know what they were getting into when they went down to the pit.
They're at PCS though. They're at Hattiesburg. Right. Yeah, nice try though. God, you don't even know what your old field looks like. It's not turf.
You know how observant I am.
Not very.
Did you see the big blue P there on the screen?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
You thought that was Simpson? Was that the P of Simpson?
You know how far my brain goes? I saw blue. And Simpson's also blue.
Yeah, it's true. It's that.
I mean, they're red.
Of course, they're wearing red tonight, but yeah.
That's how observant I am. I thought you said earlier. I'm not even. The truth is, on some I'm not even watching. Okay, I mean I'm watching, but not watching. And you earlier said something. I thought you said they were at Simpson.
I'm sure if your wife were to text in, she'd also say you were listening, but you didn't really hear
Jennifer
her.
Did text me. Hey, I saw you eating that as you came back.
Yeah.
I mean, why she got to do that?
She's got to call you out. Yeah, somebody's got to. All right, now let's take another glance. You got Brandon and Gulfport. They are in action about to start the second half after halftime. A 21-13 lead for the Bulldogs over Gulfport. And Madison and Warren Central are still tied at 21. Let's now check back in Hattiesburg with Caleb Hamill and the boys. And PCS tied at 7 with Simpson.
I didn't see it.
PCS fortunate to not be down 6 points after that play.
First and 10, Simpson from their own 49. Handoff, Berry goes off the left side, gets past the initial wave of pressure up the backfield, and gets taken down by Knox Pennebaker past the 45-yard line to the 44 in PCS territory for a gain of 7.
Simpson got a little bit of momentum going in the running game right now, and if you're PCS, you gotta stop it right now on this possession, on this play. Because the last thing you want is Simpson to start controlling the game on the ground.
2nd down and 4 after the gain of 6 for Simpson. 8th play of the drive with 8:08 to go and rolling here in the 3rd quarter. Simpson on their first drive of the second half. Have a receiver to the left, that's Chance Funchess. McKinney, the quarterback, under center, hands the ball off to Berry off the left side, gets popped past the line of scrimmage and gets thrown down near the sideline by Jacob Bond near the sticks. And judging based off where the officials are marking him, he's a yard, well, maybe right there on the yard to gain. No signal yet, as the ball was spotted right there at the spot where the chains are. You'll have to look far between the ball and the down marker to know whether or not it's a first down, but they haven't officially signaled it yet. Head official Mr. Granger looks at it and signals first down. So they pick it up there at the 41-yard line. Berry getting a lot of attention right now. PCS nearly had him wrapped up in the backfield, but got a second effort and plenty of yardage. Picked up 4 yards on a first down. Spot is the 41 of PCS. First down and 10 Cougars. Going left to right here in the second half. Single receiver right for McKinney, the quarterback, who takes the snap, feeds Berry off the right side, gets past the line of scrimmage, tries to stiff arm a man, but he's taken down by Jacob Ball and Jacoby Lindsay after picking up 6 yards to the 35.
Yeah, that time PCS front 7 guys just kind of ran right past Berry. And Berry goes right around the outside and gets 7 yards on that carry. But as I mentioned, Simpson getting a little bit of momentum and running downhill right now and just controlling the line of scrimmage.
Must have seen something there in the first half. They adjusted here in the second. H back to the right, I formation behind McKinney. Takes the hands off Berry through the right side, gets the first down over the 30 to about the 27-yard line before he's tackled by PCS's Jacoby Lindsay.
Honestly, Caleb, the second half is beginning kind of like the first half was started, and so they're just running right at us, and really not much we can do about it.
Let's go down to Phil.
Well, they're running a 2 tight end wing formation, which we just don't have enough people down on the line of scrimmage to cover all the gaps. We're going to have to drop some safeties down in there like we did the first half to stop that. They're doing the same thing again.
They also have as a fullback right now Kennedy, that large back. He'll get the carry this time straight ahead. Not much there. Big pileup at the 25-yard line on first down. So about a gain of 1, maybe 2 on that carry for Kennedy, who has been a bruising back for Simpson.
All right, we're going to shift gears and go back to Flowood. This thing is getting into the second and third string guys getting an opportunity. Thomas Hewitt Oswalt, sophomore running back, gets a chance from 48 yards out, and he takes full advantage down the sideline. It's 42-0 now in favor of Jackson Prep. His mom is actually the children's minister at our church.
Well, how about that?
Yeah.
I was thinking something similar watching the Simpson game on the screen. You know you've reached an age when the players, you played with their dad.
Yeah.
There's several.
That is, it makes you feel old, for sure. Or the games you called of kids, now they have kids. Yeah. For instance, next Friday night, I'll have in the booth with me as we do a game at St. Joe, a young man who I called his games, and now he has children, and they're not just babies. They're like, 7 or 8. It's
real children.
Whew, it's getting old. There's some gray hairs in there, but
no, I don't want to hear that.
Okay. I have hair. That's.
I was struck by the camera feed behind us that shows this. Does it really have to come in from the back?
Bad angle. My bad.
I'm used to it by now.
All right, let's check out Simpson. They've gotten back in the red zone, trying to take the lead on the PCS Bobcats in Hattiesburg.
He does get downhill. In fact, he got more than I thought. Gets about 4 yards to the 12-yard line. Sets up second down and 6 for the Cougars, who have yet to be moved backward on this drive. Penalty-free play so far as well. 4:19 remaining here in the third quarter. You're talking about rolling the clock off here in half number 2. McKinney under center, takes it himself straight ahead to the 10. That's about all as he's pushing the pile from that point. Only a gain of about 1, maybe 2 up to the 10. They bring up third down. Well, Drew, PCS right now looking for a big stop. This is likely 4-down territory.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt. Simpson's already kind of showed earlier in the game what they would do in this situation. So if they don't get it on this down, I would expect them to go for it on fourth. Watch out for that waggle play Phil was talking about earlier in this situation.
Movement at the line, and this may be a nice break for PCS because there was movement on the Simpson Academy side. Just mentioned penalty-free play so far here in the third quarter, and that one cost Simpson Academy manageable third down. Will now set themselves up third down and 9.
Well, I think it's still the same here. You've got, if you're Simpson, you've got 2 downs to get 9 yards, and last time it was going to be two downs to get 4 yards. So
And if there was
still manageable for them.
And if there was any question of whether or not they would try a field goal, if it was close enough, I think that may have just backed them out of range. I don't believe Pierce has the longest range as a kicker this year. 2 receivers to the right this time. Under center goes McKinney. Takes it, wants to pass, rolls right to throw, eyes downfield, pressured, throws. That pass is broken up, incomplete. Great job in coverage by PCS. 39 Brooks Carnes, but there is a flag down right where the breakup happened, and that may be a pass interference call.
Yeah, it's right there where the pass was thrown and the contact. I don't know if there was a lot of contact there. It looked pretty good defense to me. But I believe that's what it's going to be, is a defensive pass interference.
Won't result in a first down, I believe, because it was about at the 10-yard line. My math may not be the best here. We'll see where they put it. Hold your breath. So half the distance to the goal will not give them a first down. Again, no automatic first downs on pass interference in high school. So it's back to a 3rd down and manageable here. 3rd down and 2 from the 13-yard line. Have to get it to the 11. They'll send Funchess out to the left as a receiver. Does Simpson Academy. Tie game 7-7 with 3 minutes even to go here in the 3rd quarter. Snap comes, flag thrown before the snap gets off. And this time I think Simpson Academy jumped yet again.
Watch, rinse, repeat. It'll be 3rd and about 7 this time instead of 3rd and 9.
So this 3rd down has now amassed 3 penalties, 2 by Simpson, 1 by PCS.
And we talked about at halftime too, is going to come down to who makes the fewest amount of mistakes. Well, right now mistakes are sort of even here in the second half.
3rd down and 7 from the 13-yard line. Under center, rolling deep left side, throw back toward the end zone, caught at the goal line, and a touchdown earned by Simpson Academy. Chance Funchess on the receiving end of the touchdown pass, right there at the goal line on a 13-yard strike.
Yeah, Funchess acted like he was going to kind of cut into the middle of the field, stop, planted, and came back to the corner of the end zone, and a really nice throw right there to put it right on the corner for the touchdown.
2:55 remaining 3rd quarter. Simpson has their first lead of the contest. Extra point can make it 14-7. As it'll be Parker Pierce yet again to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Barrett McKinney, the quarterback. PCS tried their best to get pressure on McKinney, but could not get to him before releasing that pass. And boy, Funchess was wide open right there. Snap back, hold down. It's a good one. Kick is away, and this one is good. 14-7. Simpson on top of PCS with 2:55 to go in the third.
So Simpson Academy gets the lead now in Hattiesburg, 14-7. As your alma mater saying, you didn't pick us, we're going to prove you wrong.
Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. You know, I regret doing that, but it is what it is. Chance Funchess caught the touchdown.
That was a beautifully designed play.
He's also the high jump champion from last year. Somebody really good at this job would know what that height was. I don't, but I know he won it.
Yeah, I don't know either. Let's head to Hartfield, where they have put the clock in motion now in Flowood with this touchdown run of Jaslowski. He continues to put point. He has got near, I think it's like 80 points scored now on the season, which is crazy. Of course, they have played 7 games. They played week 0, so they've actually played 7 weeks of football already, because this was an open date on their original schedule. They filled it late in the spring with Lafayette, and they've won every game so far, 7-0.
You think he's good out there? You should have seen that kid on the upward basketball court.
Oh, I've seen him on the basketball court.
He was a bull.
Prep put the mercy rule into effect, which has brought in a whole lot of different young men to play the game, and they actually took advantage and have gotten themselves into the red zone with this interception. So yeah, sometimes you throw one up in extra time and you kind of hope something comes down. It did not. And that was Max Stegall with the interception on the pass thrown by Luke Essery, the freshman quarterback. So getting some chances to play, and it was just trying to make something happen.
Yeah, that's one of those when it's halfway there, you're like, Just wish you could
bring it back.
Wish you could reel it back in.
Get on a fishing line and
Oh,
just reel that one back in.
You knew it was a mistake, but it's too late.
Yeah, can't do anything about it now.
Young, though. You said freshman.
Freshman, yeah. And again, he's playing in I hate to call it garbage time, but I mean, it is, right? So it's 42-0.
Hey, you got to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
Especially
he's
for
a freshman.
kid.
He's getting chances to play at the varsity level on a Friday night. You can't beat that.
Can't beat it.
So great job by him just to get in that game and try to get some opportunities. And he'll have, I'm sure, plenty more chances. You know, those guys are pretty good. They've won 10 or 11 in a row dating back to last year's state championship run as they knocked off the 3-time state champs in MRA. And I wanted to give a quick shout out. I don't know if he's watching tonight, but Herbert Davis, so glad you are back on the sidelines, my friend. We said it last week, too. I know you were coaching, so you probably didn't see it, but you might be watching tonight. And I know I screwed up the stats this week in the 6A standings. I apologize for that. I didn't have a chance to correct it, but it will be right on Sunday. I'll get it right.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
I didn't. I just want him to email me.
Herbert, I'll call you, man. We'll get this straightened out.
Sorry. But seriously, we're so glad you're back healthy and back on the sidelines for MRA. And our thoughts and prayers have been with you from every MAIS school and everybody else in the state. I know you felt those prayers, and that's what makes football so special. It truly is a brotherhood, isn't it?
It is, and whenever you do a short list of best coaches in the state, you can't put your finger on one guy because there's a lot of them. But he is on a very short list of the best doing it.
Yeah, no doubt. He's won state championships at 4 different schools or 5?
Like his first one was at Mike Spence. I mean, we didn't get there because he knocked us off early. And appreciate that. Thanks, Herbert.
Ask and ye shall receive. So I asked for the 4 best games we had going on right now, which include PCS and Simpson, Brandon and Gulfport. Thank you. And then you've also got Madison Central and Warren Central, and we've got also Picayune and Ocean Springs. So let's bring that 4 box up and see what we got here. So yeah, here we go.
See what we're working with.
So now these are the games that are all very competitive. Brookhaven is down by 3 touchdowns in Northwest Rankin. So the other 4, these are the 4 closest games we have going on. And Simpson just took that lead. Brandon just got back underway with Gulfport after the halftime. Madison Central and Warren Central are tied at 21 in the third quarter. That's going to be a last. Uh-oh, we got a loose ball there. Madison Central in the red zone, almost down to the 5-yard line. Wow. Nice play there.
Picayune with a chance here to score. Real quick, that Simpson game, back to it real quick. Now, don't pull it back up, obviously. I don't have that power, do I? Can I tell them what to do?
You can.
I don't have that power.
No, probably not.
Chance Funch is a really good young receiver, but also the quarterback there, Barrett McKinney. He's a big-time baseball player, too. Also, he's already committed to Missouri State.
And look at that, Simpson's back in the red zone again. They are about to take a 2-score lead if they can punch this one in on PCS and ruin homecoming 2023.
That kid there, Ben Kennedy, all these are juniors. Okay, they are a junior-heavy football team. Ben Kennedy, also one of the better junior baseball players in the state. A big pitcher, a big hitter too. I mean, just an athlete.
Look at that catch on the right side. Holy cow! What a catch on that Brandon and Gulfport game. We got a little scrum going on over here in Hattiesburg. Now let's go
see what we have.
Yeah, a little extracurriculars. Might have had a little loose. Oh, we have loose football. Ball is out. Now we got all kinds of bodies fighting for it. Who's going to come away with it here? That's the question. And they signal 4th down, so it looks like Simpson is going to retain possession. Will they go for a field goal here, or will they go for another score? That's the question there. So don't know the answer just yet, but they are at the 6-yard line. Boy, that was almost a great turnover there forced by PCS.
He caught that ball.
All right, so now we're going to take it live to Hattiesburg and join Caleb Hamill there again.
That's the guessing game at this point. Simpson Academy trying to expand on their lead, already leading at 14-7 with 25 seconds remaining in the third quarter. This would be a big quarter for Simpson. Handoff to Kennedy, straight ahead, dives over the 1 and into the end zone for a touchdown if they marked him in. And they do mark it into the end zone for the touchdown. With 22 seconds remaining in the third period, Simpson leads PCS 20-7. And this game just got a whole lot worse for PCS. They went from having a chance at a possession just down 7 to now finding themselves down by 13, could be 14 with the extra point. So Simpson Academy has come in here on homecoming night. And
The Simpson Academy is spoiling homecoming. And speaking of spoiling things, Ocean Springs doing the same thing at Picayune. They have now picked up Picayune trying to get back in this game. I reversed my storyline there. The Maroon Tide have made this more of a ball game, down to a 10-point contest against Ocean Springs. That one's down to 24-14 on that little nice run from around 10 yards.
I believe that was Chris Davis. I have to pull up just to make sure, but that was 5. Can't remember his number from the opener, but and still lot surprised with that score.
I got Ratcliffe as number 5.
What's Chris, 1?
Davis is 6.
6?
Yeah.
That was my next guess.
That was next up on the list. All right, Gulfport and Brandon. This is turning into continuing to be a good one in Brandon.
Yeah, big Nate Blunt. You know, his uncle is, LeGarrette Blunt.
Yeah. Good genes.
Not bad.
Look at that power run and another Brandon touchdown. They have gone up by 2 scores. How about that?
That's a big score.
So Nate Blunt, just a freshman, 6'2", 215.
Now Nate's a senior.
Did I look at the wrong line?
Mm-hmm.
That's very possible. Or
they put
it in there wrong. It says FR. Nate Blunt, number 6.
Unbelievable.
So I didn't read it wrong. It was put in wrong.
Also, I didn't know you had the Brandon in the back of the Gulfport.
You didn't know they had 2 rosters there?
No,
that's good. Yeah.
Sorry.
That's why it's stapled. Yeah, I got all the rosters for you.
I also missed the food time, but that's okay.
Now, another thing, too, you see those tents, man, that's another tradition that's popping up at every school.
It's everywhere.
At the high school level. It's really neat what they've done with the space behind those places, whether it be, in Jackson, Flowood, Madison, Gulfport, Brandon, they're all over the place.
You know, one of the first ones I saw like that, you remember back in the day when it was Cellular South?
Yeah.
And they did those games?
Yeah.
Wayne County and West Jones?
Yep.
You ever been to one of those?
I have not.
Was unbelievable. But the end zones at both places just
Jam-packed.
covered in those tents.
Oh, wow.
And now you're seeing that everywhere.
Yeah, the tradition is definitely starting different places, and you love to see them. And now Warren Central and Madison Central knotted up at 21. The Jags trying to go quick here and get a block maybe. Sending the house, almost got the block. That one goes way up in the air. Nice camera work following that punt, as that thing was above the lights just about. And a short field now for the Jags to try to take a lead in the 4th quarter. And we are entering our own 4th quarter here. We're going to carry this to around 9:15, 9:30, depending upon the conclusion of some of these games. You're going to have prep wrap up here pretty quick. Hartfield's in a running clock. And Starkville Academy is close to a running clock on those other matchups we were telling you about. Simpson now is a 14-point lead, as we showed you. And now Jackson Prep has added yet another touchdown, we're being told, as we will get a live look at this one. Oh, a nice little redemption moment there to Gardner Young from Luke Essery.
There you go.
Threw a pick earlier.
Come back for a touchdown.
And got the TD. And that, there people would say, oh, well, how dare they throw the football? But you got to remember, these are the younger kids who just need a chance to play some football.
Yep, without a doubt.
The most competitive ones, though, even though that one is, as that one is closing down, 49-7, Jackson Prep leads that game now. Here are the 4 that are really nip and tuck here. And you may say, well, 14 and 10 points, that's not necessarily nip and no, it is. That was just 7-7 a minute ago in your upper left corner. Now Brandon, 27-13, leading Gulfport as the Admirals in your upper right corner start another drive there. And then on the bottom left, Madison Central, with that short field position, trying to reclaim the lead over Warren Central. That's probably, speaking obvious here, thanks Captain Obvious, right? But probably been the best game so far tonight.
It has. And then look, big hit there in the Brandon game on the Gulfport quarterback, Nick Williams. That game could have swung back either way.
Yeah.
Gulfport has had several opportunities to score in the red zone and just didn't come away with anything.
Picayune, who had just gotten a touchdown, you see them now struggling to keep Ocean Springs from marching right back down the field and getting an answer. Meanwhile, Northwest Rankin off screen just picked up another touchdown. They lead 34-7. They're starting to run away from Old Brook down in Brookhaven.
Yeah, Northwest has pieces. Wes White's a senior quarterback.
Oh, sorry, that was almost an interception by Warren Central.
Another one. No, it looks like he should have had it.
Yeah.
We'll see that replay here in a minute, I would guess. Can our guys request replays from the schools out there? We don't have that power.
Well, yeah, no, I don't think we have a line into their booths. No.
That's unfortunate.
It is. All right, here's another look at that last Northwest Rankin TD. This little simple screen, and
there's Dylan Lewis.
When you got blocking downfield, and then when you got an athlete that can make moves like that, it makes it easy.
Yeah, Dylan will play college football somewhere. You know, it's hard these days with the transfer portal. You know, it's fewer opportunities for high school seniors, but he'll land somewhere.
Is that the worst thing that's happened to college football? Is the transfer portal?
Yeah, and not to get into all of this, because we could do it. What is it, 9 almost now? We could do this all night. The NIL stuff, I think people, I can let that go. The transfer stuff is a different story. I mean, when you have the ability to just willy-nilly, to use a good old phrase, good old boys, when you just bounce around team to team to team, that's a problem. I wish they would change that, because it's also had a bad effect on high school sports. Because seniors who were getting Division I scholarships back in the day, I mean, now you're going junior college and getting yourself ready for 2 years down the road to be one of those guys.
I mean, you can talk about a guy like Deion Smith. He was at JA, went to LSU, struggled grade-wise, popped back down to a JUCO, trying to get back to a
now
D1.
So he's killing it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
He's killing it. He'll land somewhere. Yeah. More than likely Ole Miss, I hear. I think that he's been close to that several times, but you never know, especially these days. You know, now you can actually talk about things we've never talked about before.
That's right.
Kid like that, I'm going to Ole Miss until. Hold on a minute, Coach. How much did you say that was? I mean, and who can blame them?
Yeah. Oh man, the NIL stuff. Woo. All right, Brandon's up 28-13 now, and still 21-21 between the Jags and the Vikes, and Madison Central. Now we're going to take that live with good old Bob Southerner on the call in the jungle.
Singleton, and he's going to be Marvion Jackson. He's going to be stopped.
Warren Central had everybody on the line of scrimmage. Everybody.
So now 4th down and 2 with 8:26 and counting to go here in the Southern Ag Credit fourth quarter. Madison Central 21, Warren Central 21. Bob Sullender along with Baxter Strain, Rhino back at Super Talk Central. And it looks like the Jags are going to go for it. 4th and 2. So a big play here. They need just to the 35-yard line. Picarella takes a snap. And it looks like Madison Central has taken a timeout. We will as well. 8 minutes left in the Southern Ag Credit fourth quarter. Madison Central 21. Warren Central 21 with a Trustmark.
Madison Central and Warren Central heading to break. They're tied at 21, 8 minutes to go. Brandon heading into the fourth quarter right now. They're up by 2 touchdowns on Gulfport. And then in our big 4-box we've been showing you, of course, Simpson and PCS is 21-7. The Cougars leading that one over the Bobcats. And then Ocean Springs still holding on to a 10-point lead over Picayune. And how did Northwest Rankin and Brookhaven wind up? It was a big lead for Northwest. Well, Brookhaven says, hey, we're not done quite yet. It's only the third quarter. And old Brook gets it going. Near 60-yard run here.
I bet I know that one. Do you have the name on number 5?
I do happen to have the name. I don't know if it's the
in the
correct
back
name.
of the Northwest Rankin. Who do we have that?
Xavier Gatton.
You know where he's at? He's headed to Mississippi State. Would you be shocked to know that after watching that one?
No, not at all.
He's probably going to be a DB at Mississippi State. He'll be a secondary guy, probably a safety, but he's a stud.
All right, let's head back to Flowood, where it is a whole lot of points being scored there. We'll head back to now. We're in Flowood, just a different part of Flowood, as Hartfield is right now leading a big lead over the Commodores, 35-0. So now we go back to Jackson Prep to capture the last moments of the first final of the night. Jackson Prep 49 and Evangelical Christian School, out of Tennessee, 7. So 49-7, and Jackson Prep continues to roll as those Patriots have done nothing but win since last year's championship tilt, as they are now looking at a winning streak of 12 in a row. They're now 6-0 this year. And now back to the Jags and the Vikings. And oh goodness, he got tackled by the helmet almost. That was a vicious tackle there. And now we got to have some flags probably and some, maybe not. But that was a That was a very physical play there. This is the 4-box you've been wanting for. This is what we're going to try to keep you on as much as we can as these games progress, because these are the ones everybody wants to watch now that they are winding down into the fourth and final quarters here. Ocean Springs now is in the red zone. And not just in the red zone, they're in the end zone. That was quick.
Wow, 31-40. I had a chance to see, I've seen them twice now. I saw them in their opener against Madison Central, that Madison Central was able to pull out a win. And then they go into Northwest Rankin and won 2 weeks ago. So that's a good football team.
Continual big thanks to Tommy B, who's running our scoreboard and keeping the guys in the replay machine room, letting them know where all the action is happening. I don't know how much fun he's had tonight, but I imagine he's had a good bit of fun in that spot, because it has been a whirlwind of activity in the audio room tonight. That's doubled as the workhorse room. Another update. Starkville 33-7 now leading Oxford as they wind down the third quarter there. 33-7. Starkville leading Oxford in the Little Egg Bowl. Looks like the Yellow Jackets are going to take that one. Here's a big man touchdown, bottom right corner. Hello! You got one. Or is that the 2-point conversion? Either way, love to see the big guys get in there.
And big man score.
Nothing like them. That was the touchdown. As it's 31-14 now. Ocean Springs over Picayune. The Greyhounds running. I'm glad to see, by the way, the MHSAA getting those championships moved again back to Oxford, as they had a 2-year stint in Hattiesburg, or 3, or 2 at least. Now back to Oxford, and maybe continue that rotation between Starkville and Hattiesburg and get that back going again. The MAIS championships, of course, are played. 5 of them at Jackson Academy, and 1 of them, the 6A game, played out in Clinton at Mississippi College. And that'll be covered, of course, on the MAIS Championship Network.
And just had a fumble in that Warren Central game, but they were able to recover it.
Still driving is Brandon. Ball got tipped there and intercepted, I think, by Gulfport. Looks like they're going to have a chance to stay away from a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter.
That's what got Brandon early this year. Their early losses, the 0-2 start, a lot of turnovers, but they've been able to stay away from it the last couple of weeks.
PCS trying desperately to get back into that game against Simpson Academy. They've only got 9 minutes left. Down 21-7. They need something to go there in the upper left corner of your screen.
I haven't honestly talked a whole lot about Simpson Academy. They were, I think, preseason 4th in their classification, and they started poorly. But they graduated a huge senior class, I think 25 kids, and the senior class this year I think has 4. So, you know, there's a lot of roster turnover there. But they're playing better football right now than they did early this year.
I want to take a shameless plug moment, too, for the Raider Network. We have just developed a brand new Apple TV app, so you can not only watch it on just YouTube like you've done in the past, or perhaps RaiderNetwork.org, but now you can just simply click on your Apple TV and download the Raider Network app. Eddie and Josh spent the summer making that possible, and we appreciate all the hard work they did. It is a live look at it. That's what it looks like. See right there? All you do is click right there. You literally hit that center button. You click on it. Whichever game you want, you're going to go on the walk-ons inside the red zone, and it'll pop up the feed. It's quite crazy how technology works now.
It's big time, man. But you guys know what you're doing.
No, they know what they're doing.
Well, I should say that, honestly.
You keep saying y'all. I just talk, remember?
It's Eddie and Hinkle, right?
No question.
All right, that's it.
That's where it stops. Yeah.
Does Hinkle want to be Hinkle, or is he first name guy?
He's Josh Hinkle. Yeah.
I know, but
he's got a brother. There's 2 Hinkles.
Or Hinkle?
But the other brother is. Yeah, the other brother is still on sabbatical at the Grand Canyon or something.
Man, he's big time. He's terrific. Jay's fortunate that they're here.
Oh, no question. And they both came through here. Of course, Matt went on to kick at Ole Miss. Ole Miss Rebel there. Yep. Josh, obviously a great kicker in his own right here at Jackson Academy as well. And he is the reason why we have a lot of the bells and whistles that we do, because he went up there to Ole Miss and learned about the SEC network and still works for them as a little bit and just brings all that knowledge back here to Jackson.
I think the kids say facts to that.
FACTS?
Yeah.
Not FAX.
Something like that.
Okay.
Not very good. They don't even know what the FAX is.
Yeah. Now, do they still have to send the letters in, by the way, when they sign those?
Sign it? They do.
They still do that?
They still do that.
That's crazy.
Unless something that I don't know about happened last year, they still. That is. It's not crazy. It's kind of dumb. What are we doing?
Oh, we're being told by the youngsters in the truck that FAX is the correct spelling.
I'm not very good at this.
They would know because the lingo is beyond bizarre nowadays. All right, 21-21 in the fourth quarter. A big stop by Madison, but flag on the play might be a face mask or some type of penalty there, or it could be a hold. I kind of had my attention distracted. Shocker, I know. That I was looking at 8 different screens right now. One game has gone final. Jackson Prep is a victor tonight.
Running clock, baby.
Simpson, Hartfield Academy also, they have just gone final. There it is. Look at that. I mean, just right when you asked for it. 35-7 the final there. Hartfield over Lafayette. What a dominant statement by the Hawks.
That's a big win, man. And you look up and down that roster, and they are just loaded.
They'll be heading next week to Oak Forest Academy. The poor Yellow Jackets there will be the host of that game. Jackson Prep, by the way, is at West Jones next week. That'll be a game to watch.
You know, there were 3 of these last week.
Yep.
MRA and Oak Grove.
Yeah. Oh, what a game that was.
I couldn't believe. Honestly, I couldn't. I could not believe that. And you could make an argument, should have won.
Should have won. Oh, he went for 2. Love it.
Man, Herbert's such a good coach and such a good person. But what he's done there, they haven't always been like they are right now.
Nope.
And look, the whole classification across the board right now is really good. MRA, Prep, JA, and Hartfield especially. But then this week with Hartfield and Lafayette, I was curious. Don't know if I saw that. So, yeah, we'll see what happens next week.
Brandon, a little jump pass. I saw the red helmets, and I was thinking, Brandon, look at the wrong screen. Warren Central with the jump pass in the bottom left corner, trying to keep that drive going. They get it to midfield, just across into Jaguar territory, trying to become one of those 2 teams trying to take the lead. Neither team has been able to score that go-ahead touchdown here for a while. But look at Gulfport. They are knocking on the door.
Again.
Man. And there's PCS down to the 3. And folks, let's just keep it here with all of these. Yeah, Gulfport has already scored, I'm sorry. So they are now an extra point away from making it a 1-point contest. And man, I love watching these 4 boxes. I know we want to go to just one game, but these 4 boxes make me so happy. All right, so let's go back to the Gulfport touchdown. We'll show you that one on a full screen so you can see exactly what happened. And then don't worry, we won't miss the PCS stuff. We got guys running the replay machine on that too. So if they score, we'll get back to that too. But here's a good big look at that Gulfport touchdown. Wow. Oh, what a catch. Oh, he one-handed that one just about.
What's the name with 6?
Cameron Joseph.
Cameron, leading receiver from last year, has had a big first month of the season.
Wow. All right, let's go live to Caleb Hamill and the boys in Hattiesburg, see if they can get this down to a 1-score game.
See that he should have just continued to try to get to the sideline and manage to get every single yard back he could. 3-by-1 receiver set. Crowder looks left to pass, pumps once, now steps up, pressured, sacked. Brought down by Jacob Colson, and PCS is brought back behind the line of scrimmage again on back-to-back plays, and it brings up 3rd and goal from the 13.
Yep, that stings. And, going back to the previous play, you're talking about Cannon just running to the sideline. I think you may just be better off throwing it away, too.
Could have done that as well. 2-by-2 receiver set. Clock rolls with 6:20 to go. Crowder rolls left to pass. Pressure comes. Throws to the end zone. Passes caught for a touchdown. O.J. LeSure gets his 2nd receiving touchdown of the year. And PCS is an extra point away from cutting the deficit in half.
Wow, what a play. Cannon he's got a way of just surprising you. And he can make things happen with his feet. And that's what he did again right there. I would say he more than made up for that miscue on 2nd down by just taking the sack. And he made that touchdown happen right there on his own.
That touchdown brought to you by Wesley Breland Realtor. Remember, when the Bobcats take it to the house, you can take your house to the trusted realty experts at Wesley Breland Realtor. Extra point upcoming for Gigi Tisdale. Snap is good. Hold down, kick away, and it's through the uprights. 21-14 with 6:12 remaining in the 4th quarter. We'll see.
Biggest games of the night right now. Madison Central and Warren Central, along with Brandon and Gulfport. A tie game on your right, a 1-score game on your left. Brandon has possession right now at their own 30-yard line, trying to basically they could run the clock out if they were able to run this for a few first downs and only pick up 7-8 yards at a time. There's 6.5 minutes to play on your left. On the right side, that is a 21-21 tie ball game between the two Centrals with about 5:43 to go in the fourth quarter there, and it is going to come down to who wants it more, the old cliche. I'm really disappointed you didn't bring out headgear for tonight. I really thought you were going to go Coach Corso on us.
Not a big planner.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
true.
could have done that.
All right, who would you like to hear from? Jake Wim or Bob Sullender? Left or right? People
Wow,
going.
that's tough.
I know.
We hear a lot of Jake Wim already.
We have. Let's go to Bob Sullender on your right screen with Madison Central and Warren Central.
Two receivers to each side, man in motion to the near side. Morgan drops back, throws a fade to the far sideline. It's going to be incomplete and out of bounds, so second down and 10. 5:12 to go here in the Southern Ag Credit fourth quarter. Madison Central 21, Warren Central 21. Vikings have the ball, second and 10 from the Madison Central 30-yard line.
Denham Mitchell on the coverage that time did a nice job of using the sideline as an additional defender. Forced the receiver up against that sideline.
Morgan will send three receivers to the near side, one back in the backfield, play action to Collins. He's going to hit his receiver on the little skinny post across the middle to the 20, down to the 15, down to the 14. On the reception is big number 9. That's Maddox Lynch. And I was just thinking, you know, this guy can go up and get it. He's bigger than anybody on the defensive backfield for Madison Central. Why wouldn't you throw it up to him? And instead of that, they go through the middle to him.
Yeah, he just run another slant across the middle, a little bit deeper slant. As Morgan let him clear the linebackers before he delivered the ball.
So first and 10 from the 13-yard line of the Jags for Warren Central. Handoff is to Collins. Collins is going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage. On the tackle, number 27 for Madison Central comes up and makes the play. That's Titus Amos. So Amos on the tackle, second down and 12. Clock rolls, 4:22 and counting to go here in the Southern Ag Credit fourth quarter. Warren Central, Madison Central, all knotted up, and the Vikings have the ball. Second and 12 from the Jaguar 15. Morgan will send two receivers to the near side, one to the far side. Or rather, that's Lynch at quarterback. He's just going to mole across down through the defensive line to the 10-yard line. They're going to mark him all the way down at the 9. So it'll be third down and about 5, a long 5 from the 9-yard line. The Vikings need the Madison Central just past the 4-yard line for a first.
Madison Central shore up that defensive front. Morgan back at quarterback.
Morgan takes the snap, hands to Collins on the sweep to the far side.
Don't believe he got the first down marker, so it'll be fourth down.
Yeah, I think he's a little short. He tried to reach the ball out, but I think he's short.
Short by
maybe by a couple yards.
Forced out of bounds.
They're going to mark the ball right at the 5-yard line.
The field goal unit will check in for Warren Central on a fourth down and 2.
With 3:18 to go here in the Southern Ag Credit fourth quarter, Warren Central will try a field goal. They're going to place it at the 12-yard line, so this will be a 22-yard field goal. The ball's on the far hash. Little wind out there blowing at the kicker's back. This is Jonah Artman. And Warren Central jumps off sides. Or a penalty flag is starting to look like Warren Central moved. Let's see what the call is. It is a Kincaid Fine Clothing penalty flag on the Vikings. That'll cost them 5 yards. So the 22-yarder turns into a 27-yarder.
Well, it actually lessens the angle.
Right.
It's on the far hash mark, so it should not be.
Could help him a little bit.
That's right.
So 3:18 to go in the Southern Ag Credit fourth quarter. Madison Central 21, Warren Central 21. Jonah Artman for a 27-yard field goal. Morgan takes the snap. Artman, the kick is up, and it's good. Warren Central 24, Madison Central 21 with 3:11 left to go in this ball game. Southern Ag Credit fourth quarter.
All right, Warren Central takes a lead, 24-21. What a possession there by the Vikings as they now have a lead late in that game.
That's a great football game. Jonah Hartman, one of the better kickers in the state. Maybe top 3, 4. It's a very short list, so not surprised to knock that one through.
We started this show standing, now we're sitting. If that tells you anything about how long this night has been, a little bit. No, I'm just kidding. We've got.
No, he's not kidding. It's been a long night.
It has been.
A good one.
A good one so far. Brandon 28-20, and Brandon is driving. They are down near the 20-yard line trying to ice this game against Gulfport.
In the season, but none bigger than that one to get the first down deeper into Gulfport territory.
Big pickup by Fultz. We'll let that clock continue to run as we get right on top of 3 minutes in the ball game. Bulldogs right inside that red zone of Gulfport, leading 28-20. Bulldogs jumped out to a 21-0 lead. Gulfport cut it to 21-13. Bulldogs made it 28-13, and then Gulfport with a big pass play several minutes ago. Again, going to hand it to Fultz, and he is going to hit the teeth of that Gulfport defense and pick up a yard.
Yeah, as long as he holds onto the football, can't afford a turnover here. Ray has only had 11 yards rushing so far in this season. 5 carries, none bigger. He was really big in a couple ball games last season. Senior running back on this football team, of course, changes to his number 12 this season. But yeah, definitely going to rely on him for some in the space yards as the season wears on.
Both backs now lined up to the left side of Landon Barnes. 2:15 to go in the ball game. They're letting it get down under 10 now. Speed sweep. Quincy Phillips. There goes Quincy Phillips, and Quincy Phillips to the 5 and down to the 1-yard line. A 19-yard pickup and a first down on a speed sweep by Quincy.
And let me tell you, a great block by Tyson Robinson out there. He and Jay McQueen free him up on the edge. Great run by Quincy Phillips, finding the lane and almost breaking the tackle to get to the end zone.
Gulfport wants to take a timeout. I want to keep it right here. Chris, we have any kind of update on Nate Blunt?
So they were stretching him out a little bit. The team doctor was looking at him. He was laying on the ground, and it kept asking him a question. He kept shaking his head no. So I don't have a full update on him, but kind of looks like it was a cramp. Hopefully not a tweaked calf muscle. I'll tell you one good thing about that is, though, if it is next week's a bye week.
It is. It looks like he's down there stretching right now, and he'll have a week to rest. And I tell you, you talk about pitch and catch, Purvey, during the bye week. You know, I love where Brandon's at with Blunt when he's healthy. Now we got Tyson Robinson. We see what Fultz can do. Quincy Phillips in the run game. So you got a lot of options in the run game. In the passing game, obviously Quincy is the biggest target. We know Jay McQueen can make some plays. We got him, and Co, can get us some spots, but we still need that 1 or 2 other guys to step in the passing game.
Yeah, and I think either that or really decide kind of how we want the passing game to look. Whether we want to, really work on the inside route game, outside route game. McQueen is good on the outside with his height. He's not the speedster of this group, but can catch it if you have to go high or outside.
First and goal for the Bulldogs. Going to put Fultz in motion. Hand it. Robinson in. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Tyson Robinson, his first touchdown of his high school career.
And Jake, none more important than 148 in the fourth quarter, trying to stretch this lead, keep this ball out of the Gulfport offensive hands.
Wow. And Chris just told me he's only a freshman?
Yeah, I believe Tyson's a 9th grader. One of those, you hear names of kids as they come through pipeline, and he's one of them. He's next.
So Brandon, looks like they put that one away against Gulfport. Just under 2 minutes remaining there. PCS just gave up a first down run, but it looks like it might have come back with 2 minutes to go. And Starkville and Pillow is gone final, as we'll get a final look there as... Just kidding. Oh, well, that was supposed to be the Oxford-Starkville matchup, so understand why that would happen graphically because, we've had a lot of changes tonight.
Hey, it happens.
There's your final, 28-0. Vols over the Mustangs in that matchup in Starkville at J.E. Logan Field. So big thanks to the guys letting us sneak in on that broadcast tonight. Northwest Rankin is up big as they're about to head into the fourth quarter, 35-13. Ocean Springs leads Picayune 31-21. That's in the fourth. Don't have a time on that one. And Jags still still trailing the Vikings 24-21 there. And
quarterback change there with Madison. That's Jaden Johnson, who caught the pass earlier in the game. Great catch down the field, now under center.
It looks like they just turned it over on downs with 52 seconds left, and that is all she wrote for the Jags. The Vikings are going to come into the jungle and come out with a victory. Wow.
That's 2 losses now. Of course, Madison, coming off the Northwest Rankin loss. I believe that was last week. Not 2 weeks. That was last week.
Yeah.
But those are good football teams. I mean, and like you know already, this isn't, for those schools, this isn't region play yet.
Here's a live look at that last play. Looked like he got hit as he threw it, and that's a long throw to make for a quarterback, too. All the way to the other sideline and just came up short.
But in the largest classification for the MHSAA, this time last year, Starkville was the team losing 2 or 3 games, and then they caught fire late.
It's all about who is hot at the end, that is for sure. And it's kind of like March Madness. When you make and run to the playoffs, you got a good chance at lifting that hardware at the end. In Oxford for the MHSAA teams, and in Jackson or Clinton if you're in the MAIS ranks. So Brandon tacks on the extra point. They've got a 35-20 advantage. You've got PCS down 21-14 in the closing moments of that contest. And Madison Central is about to fall again. This one to Warren Central.
That's a big win for Brandon. If we went to that for a second, that's a win over a Gulfport team that is really good, has played well all year. So that was not a cakewalk game. That was going to be a pick 'em. So for everybody that wrote Brandon off early, that was way too early.
Yeah, we do have that score wrong on your screen, by the way. It's 21 on the left, 24 on the right is what it should be. Warren Central with the lead, and with the win, they walk off winners with a phenomenal stand at midfield on the final drive for Madison Central at home, trying to get within at least they were thinking a touchdown perhaps, to get within field goal range to try to tie the game, maybe force overtime, but wasn't meant to be for the Jags tonight as they fall to Warren Central 24-21. All right, Picayune is down 10. Ocean Springs trying to also put that one to bed, as trying to see how much time, and they don't have a clock on their screen, so we don't know how much time is left there. Now Simpson is down to their final few moments here, hoping they can ice the game against the Bobcats. They keep it in bounds. 2nd down and 7 now for Simpson Academy. And Brandon, meanwhile, 4th quarter action, under 2 minutes to play there, up by 15. Looks like they have that one well in hand at Bulldog Stadium. Northwest Rankin, boy, they are having their way with Brookhaven tonight, 41-13 now. Let's take a look back at how it became 41-13. Man, and how many big plays have we seen tonight? Pick 6 again, that's the 2nd or 3rd pick 6 we've seen. And he didn't get touched.
No.
Wow. 41-13, Northwest Rankin looking to tack on the extra point to make it 42.
Northwest is going to be they're a dangerous team in the playoffs. Oak Grove is head and shoulders better, I think, right now in the South than everybody else. And Brandon trying to lay their claim to that. But Northwest could be a dangerous team when we get to playoff time.
Now, the one thing we don't have on our screen is timeouts remaining. We don't know how many PCS has left. It's 3rd and 6. And maybe we should send it there if we can.
Have a couple of kids there wrestling in the back. Maybe they want to play.
Say what?
A couple of kids in the background there wrestling.
they want to get after the action.
Yeah.
So PCS is out of timeouts. Let's see if they can make a stand with 1:12 to go against Simpson.
They try to stay up on the ground as much as they can right now.
Yeah, and run around, on that 4th down and then throw it.
Yeah.
You just throw it downfield where nobody can get it.
So let's see what they do here on 3rd down and 6. On the right hash, under center goes McKinney. Takes the snap, hands off to Berry, straight ahead, and immediately tackle. That's a good part for PCS, as making the tackle was Logan Kahn, immediately on the running back. And so a short 3rd down play right there means more time left on the clock, as the clock continues to run with 56 seconds left, 29 on the play clock. And there's not going to be nearly enough time for Simpson to just run it all out on one play. They need to get a 1st down. So it's going to be an actual play they run to try to pick up yardage. And you can just about guarantee they're going to roll this clock down until 1 second's on the play clock and burn a timeout. They have not used one this entire half. So they'll maximize it as the play clock's down to 2 seconds, 1 second, and there's the timeout. 25 seconds left on the game clock, 24 actually, as they stop it finally. And so, depending on how long this fourth down takes, PCS.
Well, 4 turnovers that night, 3 turns into Madison Central points, you know, and that's the difference in the ball game over there. But it turns into our second loss. So into 47 seconds left on the clock, 15-point lead. Looks like we're going to get our 3rd win on the season. And you know, you look at our non-region schedule, and you know, as I always like to say, in a football season, you've got pretty much 3 seasons. Of course, your preseason, then your non-region schedule, see how you do there, and then your region schedule, which is the most important. But didn't really know what to expect out of that non-region schedule. One of the toughest schedules, I think, in high school football this year. This is going to be our 3rd win on the season. Come out 3-2, which I think is pretty good. You know, loss against a Metro rival, big win over another Metro rival, big win on the road. You know, very well tested, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. Really tested in that schedule. And I you know, take away a few things in that Picayune game, and I'm kind of satisfied with the way that game played out. Would have liked to have won
To
it.
Jake Wimberly and Purvey Green and Chris Eagle here for letting us sneak in on their action. A big win for Brandon again by a final of 35-20 over Gulfport. We're going to sneak back to Hattiesburg and see if PCS can get a stop on 4th down and try to get the ball back and have a chance to maybe tie the game.
Stop right here and do something like that.
4th down and 5. Under center goes McKinney, trying to hard count to maybe draw PCS off sides. They have to be disciplined right here, and Coach Mangum burns another timeout as that did not work. That would have given a 1st down to the Cougars had PCS jumped through the neutral zone. That was one thing that we were not accounting for that Coach Brown and
another timeout call by Simpson, trying to make sure, and they, you know, it's always that hard snap count, see if you can draw that defense off sides, and you never know what might happen before. When we get done with this one, they're kind of going to be wrapping up our coverage. Northwest Rankin's got a lot left just because of a long halftime with homecoming, but they also have that one pretty much wrapped up. So Simpson's going to be the last game we take a peek at, and we'll hit the other scores as well. And you've also got them rolling across the bottom of your screen. Ocean Springs leads 31-21 over Picayune as they are late in the 4th quarter there. And then you've got Brandon, of course, over Gulfport. Northwest Rankin, big 41-13 over Brookhaven. And the Jags lost to the Vikings. A huge win for Warren Central, 24-21 in the jungle. Congratulations. But let's go back to Hattiesburg. Caleb Hamill and Drew Smith and Phil Smith on the call as they try to see if PCS can hold on 4th down and force the turnover on downs and get the ball back and maybe have a chance at tying that game.
breaks up their timeout huddle on the sideline and goes back to the ball. Everybody in the stadium holding their breath right now. Barry is the tailback. Kennedy the fullback. Handoff goes to Barry through the left side, and he is stopped at the 21-yard line, but that's enough for a first down, and Simpson's going to win this one here in Hattiesburg. Hayes Barry, been a workhorse tonight. Helped their Cougars out on a couple different occasions tonight, and Simpson's going to spoil homecoming here in Hattiesburg.
So there it is, another homecoming spoiled. It happens. You don't always get a win on homecoming night in these days anymore. It's hard to, because you're really planning it around events. You're not always playing it as an opponent like you used to.
Yep, and I told you Simpson was going to be hard to beat tonight.
You told him they're going to win the game, right?
I did.
Yeah.
That's what I remember.
I don't think on the picks that he said that. I think I picked Simpson, but anyway, it was a pleasure having you here tonight, man. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, honestly. And we used to do a lot of this back in the day, and hopefully I'll be part of some of the championship stuff that's coming. But this was impressive. Is probably the easiest word to throw out there.
Oh, no question.
And I know you get tired of me saying that, and it really is more than just UV, but you're a big part of it. But the people in the truck and everything y'all do here is, I mean, it's the best.
I may not be smart, but I feel like I was smart when I got married, and I was really smart when I surrounded myself by these guys because they know what they're doing, and they let me just hang out and talk.
Well, I get asked a lot about broadcast on a high school level. What is everyone doing? And without a doubt, this is the best.
Well, the best part is, too, we get to share that information with any school that's interested. So if you want to hang out and talk for a little bit, you can always contact us at JA at 601-362-9676. We'd love to chat with you and find out more about the Raider Network. It's what we do. So for our entire crew, Eddie Weddick, Josh Hinkle in the truck along with Tommy B, and then our replay operators of Bennett, Alexander, and Knox. I'm Brian Eubank for Chris Brooks saying so long. Don't forget to pick up your copy of Mississippi Gridiron Magazine and join us back here next year if the schedule stays the same. We'll have another bye week next year, and we'll do it all again and do this fun thing one more time. We enjoyed it tonight. As always, we encourage you to attend the place of worship of your choice when you get the chance, and join us back here next Friday night for more Raider football if you so desire on the Apple TV app or right here at RaiderNetwork.org. This has been a presentation of the Raider Network.
It feels so good right now.